What's up, everybody? This is Shinjiro from Charles Ravine Fight Club. So now I'm the one making a blooper reels. And hanging out with me as always, or not always, because last week was an exception, but hanging out with me tonight is my usual partner in crime, Cali Drifter. What's going on, dude?
How's it going, people? I'm back.
We can actually have like actual soccer discussion now, because me and Kingdom are like, yeah, we don't know anything about this. So
Just in time for the final
yeah,
and the semi and well, it's not even semifinal, third place game.
yeah, the final third place game. But yeah, we got a lot of catching up to do. We got some fun stuff going on this week. Not a lot of baseball because it was the All Star break, but we'll talk about that too.
Huzzah.
And because of the All Star break and what happened coming into the All Star break, there's been some tonal shifts in our mood check for the NL West this week. So everyone look forward to that.
Dun,
Before we
dun,
get the ball
dun.
rolling, I was advised by the YouTube gurus that I should say this before the stream and not after. So if everyone's listening to us, please hit like and subscribe. Send us some comments. Shoot us some information. Give us some ideas, or if you have some comments, some constructive criticism, please. Don't just say we suck, because like we always say, we already know this. What was it? What was the tagline we kept yesterday? Like we're both half-assing it, but the combined we're using a whole ass.
Yeah, it's a combined ass.
It's a combined. We're one ass combined. Yeah,
Yeah, one ass combined.
I gotta dress that up a little bit. Kind of like the Dumb and Dumber tagline. They both had half a brain. They just only have half a brain, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick us off. We'll start with our video this week. It was a shorty, and honestly, you could hear it in the video this week that we were kind of underwhelmed the whole time because we
Mm.
opened up my road to opening day set, which came like 50 games into the season, I think, is when it probably delivered. And we were kind of like pre set up to like, oh, this is not going to be great because everyone we've seen who got that set was like, yeah, my parallel kind of sucked. Our pillow was not terrible, actually. It was pretty cool. It's definitely a PC card worth keeping, but don't go there like expecting, oh my god, they hit like an Otani auto, because we never hit Otani autos. We never have, and I doubt we ever will.
Yeah. I mean, I think the closest we've come to anything with Tani. Well, I mean, not even the closest, but well, that wasn't even us, right? Like Kingdom pulled that all aces for you?
No, so that was Wax at YBRB
Yeah,
got
see,
me the
like
all ace Otani, then Kingdom got me the two SSPs from Top Scrum Platinum, which are super cool cards and obviously very valuable. But I'm an auto guy, right?
yeah.
So no auto for me. Though I'm one day hoping to get an auto his like from a pull. I'm not gonna buy one because I just don't spend that much on individual cards.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, game day?
But yeah, go ahead and check out the video. Again, it's nothing. It's super short, like 12 minutes. I think half of it is just us BSing at the end. But
It's, I feel like
but
that's a lot of our videos.
I mean that's what these chats really are. It's us BSing for 3 hours.
True. Very
We
true.
originally set out to make these an hour long, but that went out the window after the first one.
Yep.
Let's go into some hobby news because we had the All Star game. It actually ended sale just earlier today, but hopefully some got them. The All Star game sets were out. I do like the look of them with a little star in the background. That's a nice look.
Yeah.
Price is kind of what we expect, unfortunately.
$70.
Yeah. That's a lot of pesos, for 19 cards. But,
It is.
it was a cool set, especially for people in Philly, because it's the All Star game in their hood. And I think they announced next year is in Wrigley, Chicago.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that'll be making an interesting home run derby because the last time they had home run derby at Wrigley, I think the winning total was like three. So it really depends on when's coming in that day.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That is very true.
So let's move on to some more hobby news. I thought we had covered this, but apparently we didn't. So available now on Tops is Marvel Chrome for 2026. I think we did cover a different Marvel release in a previous video that was coming out. Um, look at some of the cards here. Pretty cool stuff. I do like the artwork. I actually looked up the artists of a lot of these because I'm not as into comic books as I was when I was younger.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh, everything's by Jim Lee, right?
Not, yeah,
That's
not
Sylvester.
anymore.
Yeah. That's,
Oh man, I miss those days.
well, I mean, I'm
Well,
old
not
enough to
that.
be like, everything was Frank Miller and the Foglios, and
Yeah, not that I like. You know, yearn to go to the back to the days where there was only like 4 or 5 artists,
yeah.
or major artists, but because then we wouldn't get cool like concept like
Hmm.
runs with where like the character designs are completely different,
Well,
kind
that's
of
like one of
like
my
how
favorites. That happened was in what year was that? Was that like the '90s when the Frank Miller Batman came out?
hmm yeah, perfect
Yeah,
example.
that was awesome. I mean, that's still one of my favorite Batman series, comic book wise, of all time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun to see that whole experimental, especially when like Todd McFarlane left from created Image.
Yeah.
We had the split at DC. A bunch of those guys kind of went indie, and also a lot of guys got brought in. Same with Marvel. So it was an interesting time. But these cards are cool. They're all chromes. They're all thick boys, and you're not going to get very many cards in a pack. But at least from the previews we've seen, they're all very cool. Of course, the ones they show off are like one of ones and autos,
Did you say Chrome?
right?
Get your fat ass back here.
I've been playing with the soundboard. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I can tell. I never should have showed you that ability.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. But I don't know. Should we get into some actual sports? I know you were out last week, so you have a lot to catch up with us on football,
yes. It's
or
the
as we say
soccer.
here in the States, soccer,
Yeah,
which is apparently an English thing. They invented the word
it,
soccer before we used it,
it is.
or they started using it before we did.
Well, yeah, I forgot what the thing was, but they wanted to change it because it was like associated soccer, football, some shit. It was association, but
Ah,
but because they shorthand everything,
hmm.
it somehow changed to a soccer, and then that changed to soccer itself, and
Oh.
then they forgot to tell us that they had changed the name of soccer back to football, and so by that time we had already created the other football, and thus and thus we have soccer and football now. Thank you, English, you bunch of jerks.
That's why everyone calls it American football. I was like to differentiate it.
Yeah,
Like that's just football.
American football. They don't even use their feet.
Only
Well,
kickers. Only
yeah.
two guys in the whole team: the punter and the kicker, the field goal kicker.
Yeah, soccer should just be handball, since
Right?
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of
they don't use
handball,
it for things.
that is one of the weirdest sports to watch in Olympics because you don't realize it's an Olympic sport.
Hmm.
They're like, well, I haven't played handball since like elementary school, so how exciting could this be? It actually is pretty exciting to watch, I
Yeah,
have to admit.
it actually is. But
Like I
it's
have a,
weird. It's one of those sports that just never gets any coverage, but it's an Olympic sport.
yep. And I also have a weird fascination with walking as an Olympic sport.
Oh, like the one where they like move
Yeah,
their hips side to side
they
really quick
waddle
because
the
they
whole
can't.
time, and then
Yeah,
like people are watching their feet because like they're both their feet can't leave the ground at the same time, or they get a penalty because technically now they're running.
yeah.
And I was
That's
like it's kind of fascinating, right?
yeah, yeah. You like I think that was one of the sports that like Mexico was like not dominant, but they were pretty high up there.
Oh,
Like that
really?
was like the one, yeah, that was the one medal that we would almost be guaranteed for like years and years.
Oh,
Yeah, in as the Hispanics call it, or yeah, because I don't know if Mexico calls it caminante. I don't know
hmm.
if any other Latin countries call it that, but yeah, caminante. Like what? Why have I never heard of this before? Uh,
Apparently we're good at this.
so right. right, so I'm pretty sure you guys didn't bring up the other matches, so we're traveling back
Yeah, we kind of the last week we just kind of like, okay, here's who won, here's who
to the
lost.
quarters.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, so France beat their JV team essentially
Yeah, right.
to, to move into the semis. Spain beat Belgium. That one was a pretty close game.
Was
I
it?
have to say it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't too lopsided. So that was actually a good one. Norway England. A bit of a controversial game. There should have been a disallowed goal on the English side.
Oh.
Because the Norwegian goalkeeper kicked the ball so high that it hit the flying cam's
The spider cam.
cord. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like dropped right in front of an English player, which led directly to a score. So that game should have been or should have gone to penalties. I don't know if this means that they'll never be using the spider cams anymore, but we'll see. I know that we had a few issues with football, American football, and and the height of certain screens at certain stadiums, which we'll get to in our next slide.
We have a shout out to them later on.
And then Argentina handily beat Switzerland. But that game was really close. Like despite what the score says, that game was actually tied for a long time.
Oh.
And a penalty went towards Argentina, which led to Switzerland playing with 10 men like for the last 20 minutes, so that then they were able to really kind of jack up the score a little bit. So they moved on to play England in the semifinal, and France played Spain. France they did not play like themselves. I'm not really sure what happened there. I know these two teams actually faced each other back, I think, at the beginning of this year, and it was that game was crazier. I think that game ended up being like 5-4 France after Spain was leading like 4-0 for like a long time. Yeah. And then the Argentina England kind of also controversial.
Yeah, I did hear there's controversy that one because I guess like there was a bunch of penalties they were saying should have been called on Argentina that weren't.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know how a defender touches a ball and then gets stepped on and it isn't called a foul that then directly leads to a goal being scored. And yeah, so
so are they playing like American football rules where it's like, okay, it's playoffs time, let them play? No more ticky-tack cards or fouls.
I mean, I don't know. I know that they changed the VAR like review process for the semifinals, which I'm not sure why you would change a review process in the middle of a tournament,
right?
If people are trying to play by the same rules. But the final was set Sunday at East Rutherford, New Jersey. It'll be Spain versus Argentina, and then our third place game, which will be played in Miami, is England and France. So that one's got the continent's on fire over there. So we'll see how things line up. But this is the essentially the second to last soccer update. It was a good run, fellas.
See you guys in 4 years.
We'll see you guys in 4 years. Unless the Galaxy wins the MLS Cup somehow, and
we'll bring that up.
Then we'll talk about it. Which, funny enough, they are already selling. I think the first game of the season tickets are going on sale. So if you guys want to still see some okay soccer, no, it's not world class like FIFA, but yeah, MLS season is starting up, so there we go. But going back to but speaking of playoffs and random stadiums with low-hanging TVs, there was a fun little fact that needed to be brought up.
Yeah, you said this to me. Let's click this one over.
Change the slide. Yeah. Being that we are American football fans, I thought this was a funny post that MGM Bet posted of all people.
Right?
So this is a very true statement here. Playoff wins at AT&T Stadium by the home team the last 10 years. Spain has won more than the Cowboys have. Wow.
That's just wild.
Yeah. I can't believe I can't. Yeah. And then you think like, well, how many away games have they had? And it's like, no, they've pretty much played at home every playoff series. Oh man. So I don't know if that makes it better or worse or what, but maybe AT&T is what's cursed, not the and not Dak Prescott. I don't know.
Maybe they got to rebrand to like the Verizon Dome or something.
It's AT&T,
Yeah, AT&T itself was the curse.
right? Go back to your roots. Just be Ma Bell
Right?
for those of a certain age.
Right? Or Pac Bell.
True. Well, no, that was after the Monopoly split.
Yeah, I'll say or Pac Bell
When
because
they
Pac
did,
Bell doesn't
yeah.
exist anymore either.
Oh, that's true. What did they change? They changed into singular, which changed into something else. But I
Yeah,
don't remember
that
what.
they like reimagined themselves several times through multiple
Yeah.
purchases.
I still remember when my cell phone switched over from Pac Bell to singular, and I was like, "Oh, this looks weird."
Right? Why would you guys pick orange as your color? Get out of here.
Right? Why does it look like I'm being flashed by your logo?
Right? To really dare ourselves, I was cleaning up my house or one of my storage areas, and I found my old pager from Smart Beep.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Still remember those pager codes. Look them up, kids.
Yep.
That was a good time. Those are good times.
Well, even that morphed into like Leet Speak, right? Like what
Yeah,
through
well, yeah,
7.
Lead Speak kind of became that, which, again, we're dating ourselves because I don't think anyone uses that anymore.
Yeah. Hey, that's why we have such inventive and creative passwords that we never remember.
Right? Because you're totally hacksaw.
Yeah, hell yeah. X0. That's X0, kids. Not...
Well, I like how they make it shortened because, before it was hacksaw, then it just became hacks.
True. And what was the other one? The one that were like, why did they change the definition of it? Was it FTW? Yeah, it was
Yeah, for the
FTW,
win.
right? Yeah. No, F the world, man. What are you talking about?
Well, isn't that also what newspaper? That's actually like their sports section.
Was like Fort Worth or something? I don't know.
No, their sports section is actually called For the Win.
Oh, For the Win?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember whose it was. I was like, really?
Oh, man.
Like, that did not mean that to us.
Right? Oh, it's USA Today.
Oh, it's USA Today.
Yeah.
Enjoy USA Today while you can, because like many newspapers are probably not long for this world.
Yep. They're gonna get taken out.
Yeah. I was just waiting for that. Oh goodness. Well, let's move on to some actual baseball news. So slow week for regular season because regular season just restarted today. I think there was one game today, or is it tomorrow? But everyone went into the All-Star break. So we had the All-Star game, and the Home Run Derby. This year's Home Run Derby was Derby was won by Jordan Walker. He got booed viciously because they're in Philly, and he's a Cardinal. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, as the legend goes, these guys would boo Santa Claus, so to be expected. I actually didn't watch the Home Run Derby because it was only on Netflix. I do have Netflix, but I'm like, yeah, I didn't really like any time I've watched live sports on Netflix, so I'm gonna pass on this one. And yeah, all the comments I was reading on like the game threads and stuff were like, yeah, this is horrendous. Like the direction of it was bad. The camera views are really weird. Like they kept like zooming in on the batters' faces while they're swinging, or they would show like other
Really?
players unrelated to this like talking to each other during an at bat.
That's weird.
Everyone's like, "What's going on?" You know?
Uh, it's like perfect for TV shows, not so much for sports, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, I think like their pregame was like Will Ferrell and a bunch of other comedians. It was just very. There was something. It was very strange.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's like my dad's complaint whenever we watch matches on. I think it's like Fox.
Hmm.
He's like, man, he's like these dudes could never pick up like the ball
Hmm.
the way it's supposed to in soccer
Oh,
because they're so used to like filming like football, baseball, where it's like focused on the action and not the the potential of where the play could go.
mhm.
So they miss a lot of the like those exciting moments when when a pass is completed and it's not offsides. But
So what they need
yeah,
to do is
Netflix.
they need to do what Fox used to do with hockey and just put like little LED lights on the ball.
Oh man, I miss Puck Tracker, dude.
Puck Tracker was pretty cool. Like people hated
Yeah,
on it, but I was like, I actually didn't mind it. It was a little weird, but it
yeah,
was also kind of fun, you know.
hmm for sure.
And I say this to all fans of all sports because we're kind of the same way too. It's like everyone stop being the fun police. It's okay to try new things.
Hmm.
Like I did not watch the Home Run during Netflix, not because I didn't want to give it a shot. I'd given Netflix many shots, and they bummed
Yeah,
me out
they've
every time. So
they've had like what is it even now? Like 4 or 5 different
yeah,
ports on there,
yeah,
and each time
it's been
it's
horrendous.
just bad. Yeah,
And I think the biggest complaint I heard from a lot of my friends and other people watching was that like you buy Netflix Premium to not have commercials.
and then they put commercials on live sports.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, there's TV timeouts in sports, so
Hmm.
but it is kind of funny. Well, let's move on to
Yeah.
the actual All Star game. We went over the rosters last week. Um, you weren't here, so too bad.
I have no idea who played except for the fashion of the people that were there.
Right? Yeah. So of course we're gonna go through that, and of course we're gonna start with the teams we follow, which is the Angels and the Dodgers. And we like to say, I guess the kids, or just like Top says, they call it the game day drip.
Oh
Very, very
God.
drippy. What do we used to call it in our days?
I don't even remember.
We had a lot. We had a
Yeah.
lot of words for it.
Fashion? Yeah, it wasn't fashion.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I
gone through
think
so many
wait.
iterations because then there was swag for a while, or swaggy, and then it was this and that, and I mean,
Yeah. I think it was yeah, I think it was swag, but it was the swag that wasn't because we also had swag for free stuff.
yeah, that's all. That's the original swag.
Yeah. So
Swag or loot.
mhm,
Grab the loot.
drip. I think drip was probably the last one that I think I'm like, okay, I get this. Now it's like Riz and all this
Yeah,
other stuff.
not gonna lie, it took me a minute to differentiate between Riz and Drip.
I mean, hearing it at first, yeah, you would think like, oh, maybe he's just a good dresser. Like
Yeah,
that's what it means. Nope, nope. It's all about the charisma. What's up, ladies?
we just call that having game, but
Yeah, yeah. Like how did that even get to
right.
to Riz? Uh
So there we go,
oh, look at
Mr. Mike
this.
Trout,
Look at
who's in his
this.
like 100th All Star game. Uh, Actually, able to play this time with his family. That pretty much look like him. Like those are definitely his kids.
Yep. That's like something that like when you see their kids, you're like, oh yeah, those are that person's
We have
kids.
another one of those coming up too. Yeah, this is an even funnier one coming up. But I don't know. It's just I love seeing Mike Trout at the All Star game. It's one of those things where it's like you expect it every year. Especially with the fan vote, he's always going to get in, unless
Oh
he's
yeah.
hurt. But
Mhm.
you know, we've said this before. Like people forget how good Mike Trout was in his peak. I mean, that guy was crazy. But looking very Mike Troutish. Nothing too crazy,
Yep.
right? Nothing too over the top. Now this next one, one of our Dodgers, is a little contentious for us. So this is just a Robletzky.
Hmm.
He's got this nice, cool little shark embroidery and the All Star Game embroidery inside of his jacket.
Yeah.
And that's because was it Pedro Martinez? Give him that nickname?
The shark?
Yeah,
I don't know. Was it?
I think it was Pedro. So started calling the Sharks. That became like people have adopted it as a nickname, but let's set the record straight. He already had a nickname in the fan base, which is RoboCop.
Yeah.
Or just Robo, you know. He's embracing this whole shark thing, I guess. But I'm kind of like, I like RoboCop better, you know. I just want to go on the mound and be like, they're all ever coming with me, you know. Fit, I guess is what we can say. He's fit, you know.
I did. I
Huh?
was not aware of
What?
that they play the Jaws theme whenever he gets a strikeout.
Yes. They started doing that now.
Oh my god.
He's too young for that. They should have played the soundtrack from the Meg instead. But anyways.
True.
uh, he looks like a typical young guy. You know, the oversized double-breasted suit, the short sleeves. I still don't. I mean, this is a me thing. Okay, the next one's even worse than this, but this is a me thing. You're gonna wear a suit jacket. Don't wear a plain white t-shirt underneath. You too, Mike Trout.
I
That's just a
mean,
me thing, right?
Trout is of the age where that was a popular thing when it was trendy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I get that Robleski's a sports guy, but yeah, definitely. Come on, can we at least get like a two button? Like it doesn't even have to be a full button down. Like
Yeah.
give me like just two buttons at the top,
Or
like
go to a
on a
straight blazer
collar.
jacket
Yeah,
or a
not a
smoking
double
jacket, right?
breasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not double-breasted six-button. Come on, you know.
That's
It looks like he's wearing a tent. Come on, dude.
it does. It
Right?
does. Like especially this 3/4 profile on the
Yeah.
left here.
It's still too big for him. He needs to tighten that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, get a little bit tailored. Come on
Yeah.
now.
So speaking of fashion faux pas, well, I wouldn't call it faux pas, but it's just I will title this next slide. Tell me you're Cuban without telling me you're Cuban. First
Uh,
time All Star, Andy Pajes. Good for him, by the way. You know, he's always wanted to make it be an All Star. He finally got there.
yeah,
The pinstripe suit, again, double breasted. I think it's a 4 button, is what I saw earlier, not a 6 button. Um, the kind of in your face pocket square, gold chains, no shirt.
yeah. Definitely a wild look for Mr. Pages.
Yeah. It's definitely a look. Not something I would have gone with. I hope it's a silk line jacket, otherwise his nipples can be chafed.
For real.
If he's wearing,
My only problem with this was the pocket square. Like, why even have a pocket square if you're not gonna have a shirt on underneath?
yeah, or go to the classic, the double fold, little points.
Oh, the
You know,
two peaks.
yeah, or get something a little more muted in color, not just plain white that stands out against the pinstripes like that, because it's a gray suit. This does some fashion police here.
All right. OB of like t-shirt and jeans like 5 days. Well, not even 7 days a week.
Yeah, once you
Well,
start working from
not
home,
this week.
your fashion sense really goes under the table. Like, it's out the door, dude.
Yeah. Like I actually got to dress up this weekend. Like this week when I was on vacation, seeing my family and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I used to be a fashionable guy. Look at me with my white sneakers and my khaki pants.
Someone's gonna comment, it's like that was fashionable like 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's been years since
That's
I've
how long
been
it's been.
back at the office.
Right? Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We're all used to the what's it called, the 10-foot commute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a look.
Yeah.
I think what makes it, if he was a bigger dude, it would look better.
Oh, like his shoulders were.
Yeah, if he was wider, broader shouldered, it would look better, and no beard.
Yeah.
But the antithesis of both those guys, and again,
hmm
this is partially my bias, but also this guy just knows how to dress, right?
hmm
Is Toronto's favorite pitcher Yams.
Fox favorite pitcher.
The first thing that stands out is I don't know what's up with his elf shoes. Like, I know it's a perspective thing that's messing with that, but dude, your feet are not that long.
Yeah.
We've seen you on the mound. We know how big your cleats are. But see, nice fitted suit. The pearls are a choice for those who can't really see it right away because I didn't put the full body shot here. Right here, he's got like it was like just an accessory. It just hangs
hmm
off his belt, or his belt would be, I guess, if he had one. I don't know if he had one on or not. That's an interesting choice. This thing seems, I guess it's a thing now. I looked it up. The oh, I forget the name of that specific type of tie. It's a little fat for my taste, but that's the style. I appreciate the correct, cuff to jacket sleeve distance.
Yeah.
Also, come on, dude. Rolex Cosmograph. Get out of here. Just casually walking around, $150,000 watch. Actually, probably more.
Mhm.
Him and Dave Roberts, they got that watch game for sure. So now we have the peak of fashion. Let's get a little more homey with it. Go to the next two dudes here. And going back to what we talked about, like those are definitely their kids. We have Freddie and Max Muncy hanging out with their
Yep.
family. Freddie with his newborn. I guess is she still
hmm
newborn technically? How old is she now? Like how long do you
Yeah,
get
she's
that?
only a couple months.
Yeah, I'm
She's
surprised they
only a
brought her
couple
with
months.
them. That's
Yeah.
a bit of a trip. But Freddie's kids look like Freddie. Not as much as Max Muncy's kids like Max Muncy though.
True. Yeah, those poor kids got his ears.
Yep, ears and head shape.
Once and stuff.
Forehead, it's
Yeah.
all hairline, it's all him. I wish you could see what watch he was wearing. I think it's also Rolex. We looked into that earlier.
hmm
The picture I wasn't able to blow it up. It was kind of blurry too because that part his hands out of focus. When you blow it up, might be the Rolex. I think it was daytime or day date. You were
Date
saying,
eight. Yeah. I think
yeah, which makes sense.
is 106.
That's a quote unquote everyday Rolex.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a dad
A
Rolex.
casual Rolex,
Where
not not
yeah.
not, not quite so ostentatious as Yamamoto's.
Mhm.
Still gonna set you back depending on model. This one looks either white gold or stainless, so probably in like the 6 to 7K range. I'm thinking. Could be more, depending on the dial and everything else. But nice look.
Yep. Well worn, Mr. Muncie. Well
Yes,
worn.
I know what his daughter's wearing
Happy.
though. That dress is it's got that weird fur in the bottom. It's kind of weird.
Oh, I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that.
I mean, she pulls it off, but it's just like, that's a choice.
She's fancy though. Does she have like a bow on her shoulder or like
I
a
don't know if it's a
cape?
bow or a cape or a capelet. Yeah, I mean, she
Yeah.
was rocking it for sure. So go
Cool.
get it, girl.
Yeah. Give Yamamoto a run for his money.
Oh, for sure, right?
hmm
And Freddy's kids, just like you would expect Freddy's kids, just
hmm
polo shirts and just khakis. Like it's a Freddie Freeman look.
Yeah.
And again, see, he's got the T-shirt thing going on too with the jacket. It's also
Yeah.
a normally double breasted jacket. I've seen pictures of him without the kids in front of him, but he doesn't have
hmm
it buttoned up, and it's not a tent on him. It's a more of a tighter cut, so not as
Yeah.
bad. That's more of a look at me chilling in South Beach look.
Oh, for sure. hmm
He definitely compares to Jason Hayward for that one.
More than likely.
So on to the actual All Star game. Boring as hell, except for the first inning. And Christopher Sanchez, representing the National League, got rocked and pretty much gave up 3 runs. He gave up 3 runs. The American League ended up winning it 4-0, because that's typically how All Star games go. It's just whoever screws up first, right?
Yeah.
Um, Old Dodger friend Miguel Vargas did hit a home run to make it a
Dang.
4-0 lead. what a turnaround that kid's had from his time with the
Right?
Dodgers when it was like he was struggling mightily, right? And
Hmm.
then he got traded, and the pictures of him looking kind of despondent and lost in the White Sox dugout were just heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
I was very big on this kid when he got called up. It was him. What was the pairing? It was him, Pajes, and Cartaya together in the Futures game, I think.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, these two guys are gonna be awesome. So, I got 1 out of 3 right so far. Maybe 2 out of 3 if Argus turns around. Cartaya rip,
Mhm.
But and you're saying that he's um yeah, final was for nothing. He did say he's kind of found his joy for baseball again. Not that he had lost it because of the Dodgers, but he didn't play well with the Dodgers, right? He threw
Yeah.
no shade at the Dodgers, so no one get it twisted, you know. But he's been having himself a season. The White Sox started first place. We'll go over it later, and time's been good for him, so I'm happy for him, right?
Yeah.
We like to see. I always like seeing old Dodger players do well, especially ones that were with our team for any amount of time, or like him, who was a rookie with us and got called up and through the system and all that kind of stuff. Um, but they play the Dodgers. I hope did nothing but ill, not injury, just slump hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you play the
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Speaking of old
Yeah. So
Dodger
that
friends, the MVP because he drove in the winning runs was another Dodger friend, Cody Bellinger.
looking high as always.
Yep, I mean that's like his permanent
Always,
look.
he's always on the Chiba.
He's perma baked.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go off a little tangent here
Oh.
because I mean you weren't around or you didn't watch it, but I was very annoyed by the. Actually, to this day, we're still seeing posts about it on Reddit and online and different places, Twitter and Instagram, and whatnot, from Dodger fans, essentially bitching and moaning about Vargas and Bellinger being the quote unquote ones that got away.
Ugh.
I'm like, first of all, they aren't, right? Vargas' sample size is too small. He had his opportunities with the Dodgers. It just wasn't a good
Yeah.
fit, and he wasn't playing well. Maybe he didn't like the way. Maybe maybe it's like a Michael Conforto thing. Maybe the way Van Scoyoc and the Brain Trust do their hitting doesn't work for him. Whatever it was,
Hmm.
it didn't work for him.
Yeah.
The way Bellinger left the Dodgers, people have short-term memory. They seem to think that he was great his last 2 years. He was not.
No.
After
Yeah.
KK destroyed his shoulder, a celebration.
Yeah. They remember him pre-shoulder injury, not
Yeah, they're
post-shoulder
remembering
injury.
like MVP, Rookie of the Year, whatever, Cody Bellinger. Not
Mhm.
remembering Cody Bellinger his last 2 years of the Dodgers, which were just painful to watch. By the way, he was a career 147 hitter in the playoffs of the Dodgers too.
Yeah.
And of course, the ultimate kind of nail in the coffin was him having Scott Boras as his agent.
Hmm.
So of course he wanted to get paid, right? And Scott Boras always says crazy stuff. So the thing that really kind of turned me personally, and I think the Dodgers as a franchise off on re-signing him, it wasn't even about the money. Let's be honest, right? They probably thought they could fix him and whatever stuff like that. Um, he wanted crazy money, but Boras essentially blamed the Dodgers for Cody's slump. He said that he was saying stuff like they misdiagnosed and mistreated his injury in order to bring his price down. Which I'm sorry, that's a scummy thing to say.
Yeah.
Which is why it took a very long time before they ever signed a Scott Boras client, which I believe was Blake Snell.
Hmm.
And Scott Boras, being the slimy scuzzball that he is, after that signing was sitting at behind home plate when Blake Snell made his first start with the Dodgers. Now, like I said, Scott Boras is a slimy scuzzball, but he's incredibly good at his job. His boys get
Very.
paid, right? So I will
Yeah.
never take that away from him. He's a legend as far as agents go. He's not team friendly, but your agent's not supposed to be team friendly.
Yeah.
His job is to make you the most cash possible. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a salary cap, how that affects his business, though.
True. That's very true.
Right? Um, we don't even know that's going to happen. We don't know what the circumstances of it are. Is it going to be like NBA with supermax deals and stuff like that? Who knows? But, anyways, Um, Congratulations, Cody. Congratulations, Vargas. Congratulations, American Leagues. Hate you guys. NL forever, baby. Um, but yeah, Dodger fans, get over it. Michael Bush, Jordan Alvarez, all those guys you guys keep talking about. I mean, it happens to every team, right?
Yeah.
We just went
Yeah.
back to back in the World Series. What more do you want?
Yeah, and like they in their recency bias, like they forget like we could have sent uh Miggy Rowe to the Sox,
Yeah.
not Vargas.
Mm-hmm.
And then where would Game 7 be?
Yeah.
Like think about it that way, guys. Like
Or
the
honestly,
decisions they made are
where would Mookie's
clearly,
defense be? Because the whole season, he kept
yeah.
talking about how Rojas was showing him everything he could to make him the best shortstop possible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I get the stories of Miguel Rojas from the Marlins, especially around Jazz. He's from that era, right? He's a hazing guy. He's kind of a hard ass. Um, I'm not saying he's an angel, but the contributions he's made to the clubhouse were very important last year, and have been
Yeah.
since he came back, right?
And
So,
they've even, I mean, they've even said he'll make a great coach
oh,
or manager.
he's already been, or he's already slated to join the Dodgers coaching staff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once he's retired, this season is his last season. He's already said that. Once he's done, apparently he's already gotten some sort of job with the Dodgers. They haven't said what. It's probably going to be developmental or maybe in the minor leagues somewhere. You never know
Yeah.
where it goes. Like we were talking the other day. Shoemaker uh, for the Tower Brothers. I keep on saying the Quakes, the Tower
Quakes.
Brothers.
Yeah.
I always tell myself, Rancho, no, Ontario.
Mhm.
He's getting on in years, and I'm always wondering who's going to replace him. No, I don't think they'll put Rojas in single A. If anything, he'll be complex league, or
Yeah.
maybe
To start him
yeah,
off.
and even then, as a bench coach or something, right, or a third base coach, or
Mhm.
who knows, or maybe just a skills coach. So who knows? Everyone seems to think he'll do well. People say the same thing about Chase Utley, but Chase Utley never went to coaching. Isn't Joe Kelly coaching somewhere? Oh, he's coaching the high
Uh,
school team, Corona,
his
right?
old high school team.
The
Yeah.
Corona Panthers. Yeah. Okay. And I think they announced what they just announced something with him too. Quick to Google.
Sure.
Joe Kelly news. Let's see. Oh yeah, we know he's a pitching coach at Corona. I thought there was something else because I saw he's doing something with the Dodgers, but I don't remember what it was. I think it's like one of those like fan event things. Like you get to watch the game with him in a suite.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I saw them announce that. It's one of those like they have like Dodger auctions for charity. I think
Hmm.
it's going to be up on that page. Which, by the way, if you guys ever want to do it, check every team's auction page for charity. There's always some crazy things on there. Besides, the usual memorabilia and merchandise, but there's always like weird fan experiences. Like you can go to take batting practice with the Dodgers or whatever. I mean, I think the Giants had one too, where you get to like hang out in the owner's box with Buster Posey, which we'll talk about later.
Hmm. Oh
Might not
boy.
be so enticing right now. Speaking of teams that are suffering, this I saw this too, and then you sent it to me. I was debating putting this in the chat this week,
It had to be done.
but I'm like, all right. After you sent it to me too, I'm like, we have to put it in there.
Hmm.
So for those who can't read it because it is tiny, um, did they say this is at a Ace Hardware?
I think so.
I think so, right? And the sign
Yeah.
says "compra" or buy. Buy the original Super Glue products, minimum $15 purchase, and get 2 Angels baseball tickets free. Now that is a little bit of overpay because you can't get $7 tickets to the Angels game still,
Yeah.
but they don't come with Super Glue.
True.
So I get Super Glue and 2 free tickets to go with it. And it's just one of those things like, man, it's I mean, it's kind of cool, right? On one hand, you're like, cool, I could go to baseball games for cheap. Second hand, you're like, it's because nobody wants to go anymore.
Yeah.
And when we check the standings later in the chat, you'll see why, right? Like, look, don't get me wrong, we both love the Angels. We're always going to root for them, but it's this. This could be their first 100 loss season. We don't know. You know, they are lost. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not a good feeling. I mean, they've been like this for a while, but it's just like something's got to give, man. You know. Yeah, when we talk about the Angels side, that's what I mean. Like we're just depressed about the Angels.
Yeah. Man,
uh,
I don't even know.
what was that thing Artie said? Like it's the like winning isn't even like a top 5 priority for fans or something like that.
Yeah, it's affordability, safety, fan experience, super glue.
Yeah, affordability right
We
here.
haven't found them. We
Yep.
haven't found number. We haven't found number 5 yet, but
Yep.
number 6 is winning.
Yeah. That's just wild to me. Like
Yeah.
now that may be true for Rockies fans, and I'm not putting on the Rockies fans, but if you've ever been to a game at Coors, you will know that they sell out a lot of games. Like the fans come in for Rockies games, but they're not there to watch baseball.
Hmm.
That's
Oh yeah.
because half the stadium's a beer garden, and the views are amazing. It's cheap to get in,
Hmm.
and the beers are pretty cheap too. Everything's reasonable. So it's a prime hangout spot in Denver. So for that fan base, I kind of get it, right? That
Yeah.
winning may not be a priority. It's more let's have a cool time to hang out. Winning is a bonus, right? Now, not to say there aren't dedicated Rockies fans, because there are. I mean, who couldn't
Hmm.
be? I mean, why wouldn't there be with Dinger being there, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if you go, especially the Rock Pile area and the back outfield, that's have you ever been there? You ever been to Coors?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we gotta go together because it's pretty fun. Like that's one of the most fun ballpark experiences I've ever had. You know,
No.
outside of watching baseball. So it's if you guys are ever in Denver, go check it out. Whether your team's
Hmm.
playing or not, it's a fun time. The tickets are really reasonable. There's lots of stuff to do around the stadium. The whole concourse here, everything's very cool, and everyone's pretty chill. You know, so
Hmm.
and the views are amazing. So I move on to more maybe not depressing for us, but sadder news. Ready?
Oh yeah. I mean, something that we've been talking about for.
Yes.
Well,
So
you hate to
there
see it, but
there was a hot mic moment today, or yeah, it was early this morning, I think, on KNBR, which is their radio station in San Francisco. And the producer, you can find the clips online. They've taken it down from their YouTube, but you can find it online. It's on Instagram and Twitter or X, or the hell it's called now, and everything else. Um, where yeah, you hear the producer kind of in the back end go, "Posey sucks, man." After they finish interviewing him, and it if you the text doesn't really express it. You heard it too, right? Did you find the clip?
I didn't find the clip.
Yeah, so he wasn't saying it out of anger so much as kind of like despondent about it.
Hmm.
Because, like we said before, Buster Posey becoming the GM or president, Pobo, whatever he is there, I forget. Um, the one thing I always was concerned about, again, I'm saying this as a Dodger fan, right? Was that the potential that he could suck, and then you have to read about the Giants firing Buster Posey, which seems unfathomable, right?
Hmm.
But we know this because we've been through it.
Yeah.
With the Lakers and a couple other teams. Bringing in your
Former
legendary
star.
player, former star, is
Yeah.
not always a recipe for success at any position, right? Now, not often they're brought in like a front office side. That's was kind of unusual. Um, but this, I mean, the performance this year. I mean, honestly, the moves they made in the offseason were not terrible. They weren't great, but they were solid, right? Now, you knew pitching was going to be an issue for them based
Hmm.
on on the trades and pickups they had made. But I don't think I expect them to be this bad. And then you pile on with just the bad play, the randomness. Jung Hoo Lee kind of kept the fan base engaged for a while because he was playing so well. And then even as he started to fall off, it's like, well, now we have nothing really to go watch or cheer for. And then just what has been 3 weeks now of just constant imploding over there, starting with
Yeah,
the
it's
Pride
like
Week
crazy.
fiasco, and then you
Maybe even
had
more. It's like a month.
yeah, and then last week we talked about this in the chat. You weren't on. We talked
Hmm.
about Logan Webb.
Hmm.
You hear what happened with him?
Now what happened?
So he gave a bunch of runs in the first inning and then he settled down. I mean, it's kind of a most starters will do it. So that happens to starters, right? We've seen it with Yamamoto, we've
Yeah,
seen it
yeah.
with
Uh
everyone.
huh.
It doesn't matter. Paul Skeens, they've all done it. You have a blow up inning, but you settle in, right? Same thing happened to him. And of course, Twitter being the cesspool that it is, people were blowing him up. Like, oh, you suck. I can't believe this. Whatever. And so he
Hmm.
fired back, saying like, "Well, I don't see you out here. Why don't you come out here and throw a ball then?" He just got really fired up about it, right? Which is like, you have to understand the way you treat trolls, you do not engage, right? Because
Yeah.
now they got you right where they want you, you know.
Hmm.
And he was cursing and going back and forth and calling people out or whatever, and he ended up deleting his Twitter after that.
Oh damn.
And then this Buster Posey thing happens today, and I'm just like, man, it's just. I won't say everything did go wrong because they could still be in last place. They're not, somehow. um, yeah, it's just it's even as a Dodger fan, it's kind of hard to watch, to be honest, right? So
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's one thing to like root against a team,
yeah,
but I don't want them to actively lose their legends. It's like if like Willie Mays had certain views, which he probably did,
yeah,
but you can chalk it up to be like, oh well, he played during this time where this was
yeah,
the mindset during that period, and on top of that, he wasn't part of like baseball operations when they were
yeah.
not competing to the level that
I mean,
the
we
fans feel that they should be competing
we
to.
kind of deal with that already with the Dodgers with the whole non-issue of Kershaw and their Pride Night with the Dodgers, right? His issue was not with Pride Night itself; it was with that one group because he thought they
Yeah.
were mocking his religion, which that's a valid thing for him to be concerned about, right? Whether personally, I'm like, get over it, dude, right?
Yeah.
um, he took offense to it. Of course, he had a lot of sway with the Dodgers. What he says kind of goes. They want to keep him happy, and so they uninvited that group. And then he did the whole, which is like a thing now for a lot of these guys, put the Bible verse on his hat. The whole, I think it's from Leviticus, the whole thing about the rainbow,
Hmm.
um, which is unfortunate that he did that because now he's eternally panned as being a homophobe, which he isn't. um, so it's unfortunate, but I mean, we see that already, and of course, our favorite reliever, Blake Trinan,
Dude,
Blake with a Q,
okay,
for
too.
QAnon.
Yeah.
But again, at least you're saying, like you said, it's not the Pobo, right?
Hmm.
Of the GM. So yeah, it's and plus, doing this in LA is one thing, but doing this in San Francisco, which Hayden Ashbury, and it's like the queer capital of the world, right?
Hmm.
Just and you played there forever. Like, come on, you know better. You know what that city is proud of, right? So it's just a lot of weirdness going on there, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
because just like with Kershaw, with the whole sister perpetual indulgence thing, now it's kind of tainting Posey's legacy. Now the hardcore fans will not care because that's how we are as fans. Most fans don't care when our own guys do something bad because when it's our guy, it's fine.
Hmm.
Like remember like when we had Puig, I totally get why people hated Puig, 100%. Because if that guy were on the other team, I'd hate him too. But as long as he was our guy, we loved his antics, right?
Hmm.
Like Jazz. perfect example, right?
Yeah.
When he's your guy, he's like, oh, he's just out there having fun, and yeah, he's a little, he does some dumb stuff sometimes, but it's all good. But everyone else just clowns on him. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's gonna react differently, but I'm already seeing the comments that stand out the most, or like the comments that are like there's a lot of still like pride that he was a giant and that he was a legend for them,
Oh yeah,
essentially.
yeah, that's never
He's
going
like,
away. You know.
but yeah, yeah, but I can already see like a lot of the sentiments already like, well, he's just not meant to be a baseball front office guy,
Yeah.
essentially. And it's like it's just like it literally it's just baseball. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like the perfect example, like which I also hate to harp on, is the Mets.
Yeah.
Like on paper, that team is supposed to be
Amazing.
like 80 games.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to have already been won 80 games and lost only like 6 or whatever it
Yeah.
is, And it just that's just not the way that it's worked out for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and being in charge of a lot of the stuff that kind of leads to that, like he's not the GM.
Yeah.
Like he's not out there signing them, but essentially the buck stops with him because he's the one that, he's that guy's boss essentially.
Mhm.
And when you're such a star and you're above so many people and you have that name recognition, people are going to go after you.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and then the fact that all these controversies just won't, like, it's like an eternally lit tire fire,
Yeah.
right? Like it'll just never go out. Now that one of the controversies was, we play in this such a diverse town in California, and a lot of the guys on this team are very conservative leaning.
Which,
So
for people who don't know, that's generally a thing in baseball and all
yeah,
sports, really.
yeah,
Like, don't get it twisted. It's not just a baseball thing. A lot of athletes are very conservative.
mhm,
They just don't talk about it openly.
yeah. So I mean, it's definitely unfortunate, but hopefully if and when he gets past it, he comes out a little bit with with a little bit of that Buster shine still on him, and not
Yeah.
so much like just covered in dirt and
Yeah.
like persona non grata, because he has nowhere to go. This is one of those issues where you're like, it's cool that this dude played his entire career with this one franchise,
Mhm.
but then the people and fans of that franchise like want nothing to do with him because of
Yeah.
certain things, and it's like, well, that kind of sucks because like he can use the colors of the team, but he just will never be able to wear that logo again.
Yeah. Well,
So
and then going back to the Angels, it's kind of like Kurt Suzuki, right? Like this was your shot,
mm-hmm,
and Kurt came in as a lame duck manager. We all knew it.
mm-hmm, yeah,
Manazian didn't really make any moves. He's kind of coming up with a subpar team that's mostly rookies and unproven guys. Plus Mike Trout and Joe Dell, and
yeah,
Neto. But Soriano playing balls out. But as a first-time manager gig, of course he's going to jump at it because Kurtz had aspirations of becoming a major league manager, right?
mm-hmm,
But the sad circumstance is this might torpedo his career now. Like he may
yeah,
not get another look because of this. And same with Buster Posey. He may have always aspired to be a front office guy. And fumbling this hard, if this continues, he may never get that chance again unless he buys his way in,
yeah,
which is unfortunate, right?
mm-hmm,
Especially being that it's his team, quote unquote. Because if it didn't work out with the team that you're most famous for, it's not going to work out anywhere.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially since you've already knocked, you technically have 2 teams that you can't ever go to.
Yeah.
Or you have one team you can't go back to,
Yeah.
and another team won't ever hire you because you're a homer for the other dudes
You got
that
that you got the
are
orange
the
stink on you.
yeah, exactly.
You can go to Baltimore,
Like,
it's fine.
close enough, right?
Right.
Close enough.
Yeah, so
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna take a truly desperate team to put the I would not be surprised if if the Orioles did come knocking for him and be like, hey, you know what? Like
well,
we
the
know you
Rockies,
didn't.
you know.
I don't know about the Rockies. I think the Rockies are content.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, he's
Sorry.
also one thing too. You got to remember about him is that you talk about
Yeah.
upper level baseball decisions. I mean, he's also the one who, from what I read before, was the one who kind of championed the idea of Vitello being their coach. And there's a lot of
Yeah, there's already a lot of backlash
questions about
for
that. Like, oh, you really want to use a college guy? Like, he has no major, like, never coached at any level of the major leagues, right? He wasn't a bench
Mhm.
coach, wasn't a third base coach. He was just a college guy. And nothing wrong with that per se, because we've never had a female umpire until this year. Actually, that's a bad example because she hasn't been great either. But
Yeah, she's been pretty bad too. It's
ugh,
like, oof.
ugh, yeah. But again, it's the Jackie Robinson thing, right? You can't be the first and suck
Yeah.
because you set everyone back. The pressure on Jackie being the first black player, and he wasn't the first, I get that, but he's the first one in the major leagues,
Hmm.
playing in front of people, if it's officially, um, was he couldn't suck.
Hmm.
Because then, like they say, you prove the haters right.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want to do. And that's what Vitello's doing, right? As that team
Yeah.
continues to mire itself down and underperform, everyone's like, see, we told you, a college coach can't work in the bigs.
Hmm.
Which kind of sucks because there are a lot of good college coaches out there. And maybe
Yeah.
some of them could have gotten a shot in the future. But this set them back a lot, especially if he gets fired after this year. Who knows? I don't think he will.
Hmm.
But if he doesn't manage to turn around the next couple seasons,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be like, yeah, we're never doing this again.
Yeah. What was he? Was he on a 2-year contract or?
I think it's a 2 year.
Yeah, I think they gave him the full contract and then.
They probably cut him. Like I said, unless he really turns it around next year.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
never
Maybe
know.
maybe half the season next year, and then they'll
Yeah.
see where they're at. Because yeah, if they're in last place next year and they have a, I mean, well, first off, if there's a next year.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay, look, he's on a 3 year contract with a
Okay,
with a
so
with a
maybe
4 year with a fourth year option.
option. Yeah. So I think they give him for sure 2 solid years
Yeah.
to see what happens, and then whether that be year 2 or year 3, um, and then they reassess because but again, it's gonna be dependent on what moves they make
Yeah.
essentially, and right now it doesn't look like the owners are gonna make any moves because they
Well, they don't know what's
want
gonna
that
happen
freaking
until the CBA is
yeah,
done. Yeah.
they want the fucking cap on. But so kind of in mentioning that Scott Boris only does baseball.
The what?
So Scott Boris only does baseball.
Yeah.
So I personally, I think this would open him up to other leagues, and then the other leagues would be in trouble because now they have Scott Boris as a salary cap agent, and
Well,
that's not going to be
again,
fun for any of the leagues.
it's different because the other leagues. Well, he wouldn't work in basketball because of the max deal.
Hmm.
You can only get so much, right? If the baseball
Yeah,
goes to a salary cap similar to football, where you can literally pay anyone you want, you just don't have that much left to spend everyone else. That's where he would probably try to flex his muscles, right?
yeah,
Um, that's a tough proposition. We'll see what happens.
yeah. So
We're not going to
never
play.
beat your
As I said, we're not going to try to play Nostradamus and
yeah.
try to predict what's going to happen this offseason.
Uh,
Maybe that'll be our off-season theme.
mhm. So we're making predictions.
Right? The goofy sound. Remember Remember Goofy used to play sports?
Yeah.
He taught us about
And then
sports.
Scott Morris became his agent.
Yeah. So let's get this ball rolling, and let's talk about some other baseball news, which is interesting because this news actually broke with NHK first. I was watching NHK news, like what the hell, and then it got reported versus place. It actually only got reported this morning by U.S. news outlets because the news came out super late last night.
Yeah,
Um,
it's crazy.
and this reported here by shout out to Yaku Cosmopolitan, which is a great Japanese baseball resource. So they have cool articles, all in English. If you guys want to follow MPB, what's going on in MPB, the kind of ups and downs, they're a great resource because unlike actual MPB coverage in Japan, which is essentially just a bunch of Chris Russos, these guys tend to be a little more unbiased and give really good stuff for the English speaking audience. Anyways, uh, for those who don't know or remember, Rintaro Sasaki was the guy who, rather than play in Japan or get drafted in Japan, came to college in the United States as a potential path to the MLB, right? The current
Hmm.
rules, the posting rules is so they have to play in MPB or Japan, or if they do play MPB in Japan, they have to play till they're 25 before they can be posted. Now there's exceptions, like Roki was an exception, Otani was an exception, but generally that's what happens, right? And a lot of younger guys like him, himself included, who are highly touted prospects, are like, I don't know if I want to wait till I'm 25. I kind of want to make the jump. I want to start developing now. And so he made the decision to sign with Stanford. Now, his first year, he was much hyped. He was okay. He wasn't great. He did much better his second year, and this year during the draft, both the NPB and the MLB draft, he got drafted. So he got drafted by SoftBank, the Hawks, in the NPB, and he got drafted by the Marlins in MLB. Now, while this becomes interesting, is because the Hawks are notorious for not posting players.
Hmm.
So 100%, if he agreed to play with them, he would be stuck until he became a free agent, which is a very different thing in MPB than it is in MLB.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance to that. We'll have to do a whole show about it one day, but we're not talking about it. It's too much to go into. Right? MLB rules are very different as far as contracts and stuff. But the Marlins drafted him. They just kind of took a shot. I think it was like the eighth round or something, right? Like, yeah,
Hmm.
why not? We'll see if he wants to play with us. And most people were like, yeah, there's no way he signed with SoftBank because he came here for the express purpose of playing the MLB, right?
Hmm.
If the Fighters had drafted him, if the Carp had drafted him, maybe he plays MPB because those teams have no issue with posting players, as we've seen. um, but most people speculated and they're like, you know what? He'll probably stay in college for another year to continue development, which I thought was what he was going to do, play a third year, right? And see if he can move up the chain. Because, being drafted eighth round, I mean, you're still being drafted, which is great, but you're not, a top prospect yet, right?
Yeah.
But then it got reported by NHK last night, and it was starting to hit the stateside news channels this morning. That yeah, he apparently is agreeing to sign with the Marlins.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. When you because we were talking about this. Well, we were talking about sumo last night,
Yeah,
and
we're
we were
watching
like, "What
sumo
the
together
hell?"
last night. Yeah, and then this popped up.
And I was like, "What? What?
Yeah.
What?" He's like, "There's a news on MPB," and I was like, "Okay." So I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, damn!" So this is yeah, he specifically went around the norm by going to
Hmm.
college in America
Yep.
to skip it. So like, good on him for being drafted by, I mean, the Marlins.
Anybody really?
So yeah.
Before he's even done with college, he got drafted.
Mhm.
But again, this goes back to what I said earlier about Jackie. Like, if you're gonna be first, you can't suck.
Yeah.
Not that it's that much pressure because he has already proven that a Japanese player can come to play in college here and then get drafted, right? It's a real
Hmm.
possibility, and especially depending on, again, I hate to keep bringing this up, how the CBA negotiations go, where they want to potentially make only college level players draftable, right?
Hmm.
Not people out of high school. Um, you will see an increase in college level play, which means you'll probably see more colleges start to scout internationally.
Hmm.
So this may open the door for even more hopeful players in Japan to come play here for college and try to find their way to MLB, completely bypassing NPB, which is kind of a nightmare scenario for the NPB, but they brought this upon themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I on one hand, I'm like, yeah, it kind of sucks to see all their best players leave, because my Carp lost to Suzuki and their offense has never recovered, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, MLB is the premier baseball league,
Yeah.
and Nomo literally risked his entire career to come here. Um,
Hmm.
we had Ichiro, we had Matsui, Matsuzaka, we had all these great players come over. Now Otani, Yamamoto, Seiya Suzuki, they're all coming over now, and they're all proving themselves. This isn't just pitching anymore, right? It's everybody's coming over, and MPB can't stop that tide, right? There's no way to stop it. And my perspective, which is a lot of people argue against, is that MPB shouldn't try to stop it.
Yeah.
What they should focus on is continue to develop and make their league stronger. Because if your level of performance continues to increase and you start paying the guys more, right?
Hmm.
Especially if MLB gets a salary cap. Now, granted, salaries in MLB are nowhere near MLB salaries even with a cap, but just play devil's advocate, right?
Hmm.
You're going to get a lot more guys who either want to play in NPB or want to stay in NPB.
Yeah.
Because we saw that with Imai, with the Astros, where
Hmm.
he's just having a hard time adjusting to American life and American baseball, right? The constant
Hmm.
travel, the food, and everything else. It's just, I get it. It's what they call displacement syndrome or something like that. It's when you're living somewhere completely different and you just mentally shut down because everything's
Yeah.
too different. And some people don't want that, right? But
Hmm.
some guys want that and some don't. Um, but if you get it to the point where the level of play is as close to equivalent as you can get, I don't think it'll ever be equivalent to MLB just because of the sheer financial power and size of MLB compared to NPB, right? 12 teams versus
Hmm.
30, for example. Um, but I mean, you get beyond that current quadruple A status, and then to be like, okay, these guys are all big leaguers or are MLB
Hmm.
caliber, then more, and you start paying them equivalent. People aren't going to leave. People start to think, well, I could go to MLB and risk it, or I could just keep playing here and be comfortable with my family. A lot of these guys, just like MLB fans, grew up a fan of their certain teams, right?
Right. Right.
And so they want to play for their home team in Japan. It's no different from here. People, the NPB fans and baseball fans in Japan don't necessarily regard NPB as like the minor leagues of MLB.
Hmm.
They recognize that MLB is better, quote unquote, right? But when you talk to the fans, they don't necessarily see NPB as like this like minor league sub brand of baseball
Hmm.
because it's different. It's the way they play is different. The way the fans cheer is different. People are very into those teams. Japan is a much bigger baseball country than we are at this point.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of guys who just don't want to leave because they're already living their dream, right? Their dream was not to play in the MLB. Their dream was to play for, I won't say the Carp, but the Giants, the Tigers, what have you, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's what I think is the problem. Is not MLB's problem because they just have a better product. It's MPB's problem, and MPB could make so much money off of this. They're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, should we move
Yeah. It's
on?
gonna be.
Or oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's gonna be. Well, it's gonna be an interesting situation going forward for both leagues to see what players want to move over and what which ones want to stay. Like I think that in the NPB there's a lot of guys that like that traditional play and management style.
Oh, and also being comfortable in your own country, your own language, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I hope we get some some good dudes that come out here and play. And what really, sorry, what really is gonna be like a tipping point is to see how many are welcomed back into NPB, because I know, because traditionally, like if you buck the system there, they're like, yeah, we don't want you to come back.
Unless you're successful.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, at least they have other options. They could go KBO or
Yeah.
even
Because like
the
Nomo was a pariah when he left
yeah.
NPB,
Hmm.
but after Nomo Mania hit, all of a sudden he was a hero in Japan. Despite the
Hmm.
whole year of them talking about him being a traitor, his family being essentially accosted all the time. How could your
Yeah.
son do this? Blah blah blah. And now he's like a folk hero in Japan,
Hmm.
which is honestly why he doesn't go back to Japan that much. He still lives here in the States because he's like, no, you guys said all these horrible things about me, and
Yeah.
you only love me now because I was good, right?
Hmm.
But at the same
Yeah. He
time,
proved it.
like Tsutsugo, right, came to the States. There was no bad blood with him. He went back to Japan and won a Japan Series championship. He was
Hmm.
welcomed back pretty easily. Kawasaki was too. But those guys also played in Japan for a while before leaving under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Um, like Otani ever went back to play in Japan, they'd welcome with open arms because he had to go to MLB. His destiny was not NPB, right?
Yeah.
Same with Yamamoto. People in Japan still think of him very highly. Like, hey, he's the best, one of the, arguably the best pitcher Japan's ever produced in the modern era. And now he's a back-to-back champion, World Series champion with an MVP. So he's still very much liked even amongst his teammates. They still watch the games. They all follow him.
Yep.
But Roki is a different story because Roki was always perceived as he never did enough for the Marines before coming over.
Hmm.
That's still very much the sentiment there. And so if he ever had to go back to NPB, he would get ridden for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, you weren't as good as you thought. You weren't good enough.
Hmm.
Blah blah blah. Which is unfair, but that's what people. That's sports fans. In any country, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, Sasaki will be interesting because I think if he does go to the Marlins, which he already is, but let's say he
Hmm.
flames out, right? Maybe he makes it to AAA, but never gets called up, or he gets called up and sucks, but he decides to go back to NPB. I don't think people would have a problem with him because he wasn't there to begin with.
True. Very
So,
true.
yeah, if he had left like Roki before the age of 25, and people think you didn't do enough in your tenure
Hmm.
here, maybe they'd have a problem with him. But having never played there, you know, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna
That's
try
true.
America. I don't think people would have a problem with that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think the well, if he how would he even re-enter NPB? Would he just go to
he enters a free
the
agent.
Hawks?
No,
Okay. So he
yeah,
just okay.
yeah. Now there are rules about now that he's been drafted, he has to play for them, but it's for so many years. They essentially have him on
Hmm.
lockdown, just like here, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, let's kick it off with our usual string of Dodger news.
A
Coming up first, our friend Mookie Betts has launched his own baseball glove company.
what? Mookie?
Yep. Mookie Betts has officially launched Legend. No, Legend.
Legend. Lagoon.
Legend? Wasn't that Aston Martin? No, that's Lagonda. A new baseball glove company built around versatility, craftsmanship, and player-first innovation. I kind of question that when this glove is made with AI. Well, the
Yeah.
glove itself, but I mean, this logo and this is very out of place. It may not be, but it definitely looks out of place. Like either bad Photoshop or
Hmm.
AI. Says the flagship Mook series is inspired directly by Betts' experience as an elite defensive player. They didn't say they meant shortstop or outfield. Looks like a shortstop glove to me. And is constructed with premium Japanese kip leather. And I want to look it up because I could probably figure out who's making these gloves for him. Because when the Dodgers were there for the Tokyo series,
Hmm.
Mookie didn't have a great time because he had that stomach virus at the time, right? But he did go back because he was signed with Itoen. So he's also selling green tea, just like Otani.
Oh, cool.
Um, and he also visited a lot of um, like baseball related things in Japan. He went with his wife in the off season, and they were showing him at a couple different glove manufacturers that make the handmade gloves for players in Japan.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering if I wonder if I look those guys up, it'd probably be one of them who's making them for him, or providing the leather, or who knows, right?
Yeah.
He probably saw that like these are cool as gloves. I haven't seen pricing or anything else about it. It's pretty cool. Um, Kudos to him. I mean, I've always known him to be entrepreneurial, if you want to say that.
Hmm.
So this all makes sense, and I credit him for putting himself out there because so many players don't in baseball. Like Otani is everywhere because the sponsors want him. He's a unicorn, right?
Yeah.
But when was the last time you saw anything about Mike Trout?
True.
When was the last time you saw a lot of Bryce Harper stuff that wasn't regional? Aaron Judge. These guys are celebrities. I mean, they should go out there and put themselves out there. Like Mookie has his podcast. Mookie has different brands he works with. He has
Hmm.
fashion and baseball gloves and all kinds of stuff. And I give him a lot of credit for that because that helps grow the sport. Because kids are not
Yeah.
inspired or do not get into baseball if they don't see it all the time. If they don't see celebrities. They don't see famous people like, oh, look at Mookie Betts. He's cool, right?
Hmm.
So, like conversely, I mean, how many times a day do we see Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
We still see Tom Brady on TV like every other day.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like if you put a regular glove next to the glove of a known name, the kids are going to generate to the known name,
Hmm.
the known name, not no name,
Yeah.
but like whoever the player's glove that is. Like I
I'm not even
remember,
I'm not even a kid, and I want a Mookie glove.
right? These I gotta say, I'm looking at their website right now. Their gloves look pretty sweet, and they
They
have
do,
an
right?
event actually for Mookie Betts' gloves specifically
Oh, okay.
on Monday the 27th.
Hmm.
So unfortunately, I can't make it because it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. But
Yeah, we'll be working.
yeah, my 10-foot commute.
Right.
It do be calling.
As we said before, this show was sponsored by our jobs.
Right.
We are small potatoes.
Yep.
We're not even fingerling potatoes. We're potato buds. But yeah, I mean it's cool. I'm waiting to see what pricing's like. Hopefully it's not too crazy.
Hmm.
We'll see.
330.
Okay, that's about premium glove price.
Yeah.
It ain't like your $50 Mizuno, or your $25 Spalding from Big Five. But those are,
Yep.
entry level anyways. 330 is not terrible, especially if it's actually a pro level glove. Because pro level gloves, that's what they cost.
Yeah.
Like pro model gloves from Mizuno, you're probably looking. I mean, actually, even for Mizuno, that's a little cheap.
Hmm.
A lot of their pro models hit, 500 to 1,000 in a hurry. Same with Spalding, Wilson, everyone else. So not too bad. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, and I guess we'll bring it up on our chat that week.
Uh,
Indubitably,
yeah. We'll see how things go.
So the next thing we have to bring up is something we kept hoping would happen, and it
Woo!
finally did. The Dodgers, who have just been killing it with bobbleheads this year, are releasing the
Yep.
catch bobblehead finally. Now it is kind of funny because someone pointed out it looks like Pajes is carrying Kike like a little baby at first glance.
Oh, the bobblehead?
Yeah, because he's looking at him.
Yeah.
So first thing you do with this bobblehead is you turn the head around.
Hmm.
here's a here's a kind of a better look for it. That's just a comparison photo. Um, Super fun. I mean the ticket's already probably gonna be crazy priced. And once it's announced, it was hyped up everywhere. So that's God. Like I kind of want to go to this game just to get the bobblehead. But I think we have an Otani game like the week before, or maybe 2 weeks before for the Bobblehead. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it is a Sunday game, which is interesting, and it's a Sunday night game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes it even more interesting.
yeah, Sunday at 7:10 p.m. So that's obviously gonna be like an ESPN or a primetime game, right? But that makes it interesting. So it's not like a like usual noon or 1 o'clock start, you know.
Hmm.
But that's not the only bobblehead that came out this week.
Yeah,
One was announced today that I am super hyped up for. like,
I know, right?
like,
I was
like
like, oh man.
I, I want to go. I want to go to both these games now. So here's the next one. Breaking news, because it just came out today. Announced by Toho, not announced by the Dodgers initially until recently. They're
Hmm.
going to have Godzilla -0 night. So what -0 is Godzilla -1 was the movie that just came out, what, 2 years ago now?
Hmm.
For those who are not Godzilla versed, the original Godzilla was 1955, and that's like we say when Godzilla was still an asshole. He wasn't the campy baby Mecha Godzilla we saw later on. The original
Yeah.
Godzilla was a force of nature and nobody's friend. Godzilla -1 was a return to that. It was
Hmm.
a movie on a comparatively shoestring budget, and it just blew everyone away. Even for me, that was the best Godzilla movie I've seen in forever, right?
Yeah.
And so Godzilla -0 is now the sequel, which we all speculated
Hmm.
would come out. And so they're going to have their special day with it at Dodger Stadium, and they have shown that this is the bobblehead giveaway. Holy crap!
Amazing. It's
It's so
beautiful.
cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to like take out like a second mortgage on my house for all these games I have to go to for bobbleheads.
Right. All of a sudden.
Because if it's anything like the Yoshi bobblehead for this year, it actually isn't cheaper to buy it online.
Yep.
Because when I looked at tickets for that Yams game, our usual seats or somewhere we like to sit was going to be about 250. That bobblehead's still going for around 275 to $300. Sometimes
Damn.
it's like, I'd rather not go. Wait a while. You could buy it online pretty cheap, right? Not happening
Hmm.
with the Yoshi bobblehead. Probably not going to happen with this one either. So you can get like, you can probably find nosebleeds for $150 or reserve
Hmm.
level, maybe not nosebleed. Maybe loads for 200. It might still be cheaper than buying on eBay months down the line,
Yeah.
unless you want to wait a year or two, right? And by then there's gonna be fake ones, so you gotta be careful.
Hmm.
But super cool. I love it. Like you said, the jersey having the minus 0.0.
Yeah.
Why is he in the bat? He's got these tiny little arms. He can't swing a bat.
Uh,
Do we go to both these games? I really want to, but man, that's gonna be expensive.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna skip the catch and I'll just go to the Godzilla game.
Same here. And this one I think is also a weekend game when I looked it up. I have to look up the date again.
Hmm.
Also, our next Otani bobblehead game is also a weekend game. That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Most bobblehead games are weekdays, so they've been pushing out more weekend ones. I still haven't gotten over the no Hollow Live night this year, though. I'm still a little upset about that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it happens like some other random day, like in September, right? Like, oh,
Hmm.
surprise! God, imagine it's like the day before Godzilla night. We'd be screwed. Uh, like I say, we're gonna do Hollow Live night, not during acts. We're just gonna do it randomly, right? They probably wouldn't have the crowds if they had done it with Anime Expo, but it would still be fun to do. I hope they still do it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But stay tuned to our Instagram, people, because that's where you see us at the stadium with bobbleheads usually. We don't really. Well, you know what? That's not true because I am.
You're
Spoiler alert.
working on a project.
I am working on a project for our channel where you will see, because we always have something that sits and spins behind our videos, in the background of our videos.
Yep.
And we will be doing little shorts focusing on that. I am working on it. Like I said, it is a project. Um, do a lot of editing on my side. I gotta get a new filming rig. But we'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
Yep.
So let's go check the standings because in the last week before the All Star break, things tightened up a bit, especially in the American League. So we got a couple teams within shot now, right? Rays and Yankees are still not neck and neck, but they're close. They're within spitting distance of each other. The Central has really tightened up. The Tigers are no longer out of it.
That's
Now,
wild.
6.5 back is a lot. Don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
But it's not impossible with essentially little less than half the season left.
Mm-hmm.
But them and the Twins have reeled everyone in. So that's going to be exciting to see how that one pans out. And then in the West, it's pretty tight now. Rangers, Mariners, and Astros. They're all up in each other's business, right?
Yeah.
The A's have an outside shot, but really those three teams are not only playing for the division, but because of how generally bad the American League is this year, they're all playing for a wild card spot as well. Really, the top three teams in all divisions are playing for wild card.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the new format, right? Is the additional 2 wild card teams or whatever. So
the American League is gonna be wacky. It may come down to the last game of the year, which is exciting baseball. We'll have to see.
It always is. Yep.
Yeah. Not for the Angels or the Blue Jays though, or the Royals. The last thing, But they're not the only division that's feisty or league because the National League is also getting kind of feisty right now. Yeah, I mean, the Phillies are 2.5 back of the Braves now. And right up behind them in the rearview mirror are the Marlins. So they're all within spit. I mean, again, with a little less than half a season to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty tight all of a sudden, right?
Yep.
The Central is also tightening up a little bit. Now, not as tight as it was earlier in the season, but the Cubs and the Cardinals are right there. And the Pirates aren't that far behind either. 9.5, again, sounds insurmountable, but it really isn't. Everyone's been closing on the Brewers. Not the Brewers are playing bad baseball. They just, teams ebb and flow, right? They go through slumps. So, is the Brewers sort of winning record at that clip sustainable? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Here in the West, as we mentioned before, the Dodgers got swept by the Diamondbacks to head into the All-Star break, which is kind of a bummer. Now the Dodgers had an emergency bullpen game because of Ohtani's knee. They also weren't playing they weren't playing the A squad all 3 games, right? Yamamoto got torched a little bit. I think it kind of felt like mentally they weren't there. I was ready for the All-Star break. They had a bunch of errors in those 3 games, especially Max Muncy. It was kind of a weird series. So kind of a bummer going to the All-Star break, but they still come out of it with an 11.5 game lead over the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So again, it's not like the Diamondbacks have no shot, or the Padres have no shot. There's definitely a shot, but they're definitely playing for wild card at this point.
Yeah.
Now it'll be tough because of the East and Central. Very much a possibility that we will see only one playoff team for the West. But again, they're a couple games out of a wild card spot, both teams. So you never know. The Buster Posey Giants and the Rockies, as mentioned before, just basement dwellers at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't see that really changing for the rest of the season. Which will bring us to our mood check for the week.
Mood check.
So Dodgers have Ohtani's funky knee thing. They got swept. Yamamoto gave up like 5 runs in a game. It was a really bad end to the first half, quote unquote. It's not really a half, but you call it the first half. So we have downgraded them to normal from good.
Yeah.
Also because they also got more news from Will Smith that he's going to be returning later rather than sooner.
Oof.
Originally it was All-Star break, and then they're saying, well, after All-Star break, now they're saying maybe end of the month. Which is interesting considering that his injury was supposedly just him waking up funny and having a twinge in his neck. So there's something more going on.
Hasn't gotten better.
Yeah.
Is the report, I guess.
Yeah. Diamondbacks feeling pretty good about themselves, I would say. So we upgraded them because they swept the Dodgers. They feel good about that. Um, they're in second place now. They've been on a little not a, 3 games is a winning streak, but overall they've been winning more games. So they're playing okay baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Despite the injuries, despite now there were some sacrifices though. 2 of the rookies got injured during the Dodgers series, so that's kind of a bummer. But they still got to feel good overall. Corbin Carroll could be a little better, but he's not terrible right now, so that's good. You know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Padres are still awful as far as their mood goes.
Yeah.
The Padres fan, and again, for those who want to know or wonder, this isn't just based on the team's mood; it's also on the fan base's mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we visit their
Yeah.
subs, we check online and Twitter and everything to see what people are saying, and it's all doom and gloom on the Padres subs right now.
Yeah. Very much so.
The fans are expecting them to be sellers. Um, Anytime you see Manny Machado in the news, that's never good right now. He's still talking out of his butt and saying all kinds of stuff that people don't want to hear. Tatis is still pouting. Jackson Merrill's not producing. And it looks like the rumor is potentially Mason Miller get traded.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Because they just gave up like a boatload of prospects for that dude.
Yep. And they'll probably try to
But
turn him around for another boatload of prospects back because he's worth it.
Yeah.
So, especially with new ownership coming in end of the season. So yeah, it's a bummer down the Galsap district. Giants, as we've kind of talked about earlier, awful as well. We don't have a level before awful, but they might as well be that right now.
Hell.
Yeah, super awful. Double awful.
No.
And then the Rockies are still normal because the fan base is pretty lighthearted. They don't expect much and they don't get much, right? Now,
Mhm.
obviously, they want their team to win, and they're still upset that we don't spend money and this and that, and Chris Bryant's tragedy of his end of his career at this point.
Yeah.
But what can you do, right? So their fans still are not mad. It's kind of weird. Like they're not that upset about where they're at because they've won some series, they've had some good
Yeah.
baseball, they still have cheap ass beer and a fun stadium to hang out at, so they're feeling okay. Not great, just neutral. I don't know. You got anything you want to kind of counterpoints, or you think we're pretty good with this?
No, I think we're pretty good with this.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how we end up next week if the Dodgers turn it around because they don't play until Friday or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Yankees too in New York.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
I kind of want to keep the like maybe we screenshot this and then at the end of the year we see how everything changed from the first half and the second half. Like that would be a good like retro on
Yeah.
Like, oh well, this is just like a review on the season, and see what worked with our mood chart and what didn't work, and maybe go from there. Like for
Well,
next year,
we can do a review stream where
ever evolve.
I have all these saved, so I could
Oh,
just
sweet.
we can go week by week.
Yeah. Yeah, like we could even do like overall this month they were this like they were more awful than normal, so or bad. So
yeah, the teams that
unfortunately,
have been
that was a bad
consistent all
month.
year or since we started doing this have been the Dodgers and the Giants.
Yeah.
Dodgers actually been good, not great all year, and the Giants have been awful most of the year. So as far as their moods, and Rockies too have pretty much been normal all year. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean that's a good idea. So you always come with new things for content for you guys.
Yeah. On the fly.
Right. we're a YouTube channel that is run through shower thoughts, pretty much.
But by the seat of our four-cheeked pants,
yes,
if you will.
No, remember we're both half-assing it. So there's only 2 cheeks.
Well, yeah.
All right, so let's move on. We're actually going to be just at 2 hours this time, which is amazing for us. So because Cody Bellinger won All-Star MVP, we started talking about, when was the last time Dodger won All-Star MVP? And of course we're like, oh yeah, it was Mike Piazza. Well, we kind of already talked about him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember anyone else who won MVP because they were all before our time, to be honest. And
They really were. Like
so we
literally.
picked one of my personally favorite players, Mr. Maury Wills, or his government name, Maurice Morning Wills.
Nice.
Now Maury has been with the team literally till the day he died. He was like a special advisor. They had this. They still have it at Camelback. It's called Maury's Pit. They used to have it at Vero Beach as well. It's where he taught bunting and base stealing. It was like a little like half diamond. It was kind of interesting, or quarter diamond, if you want to call it that. He had 2 tenures with the Dodgers from 59 to 66 and from 69 to 72. He had made a little pit stop, I think, in Montreal. I forget where he played.
Yeah, Montreal and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He was a 3-time World Series champion in 59, 63, and 65. 7-time All-Star, 61, 62, 63, and then took a little break, and then came back at 65 and supposed to be 66, but 65 twice. Damn it. Won the NL MVP in 1962. So he's part of that long list of Dodgers MVPs.
Yeah.
Which is going to keep getting longer as long as Ohtani is still alive.
Right.
2-time Gold Glove winner, 61 and 62. 62 was a hell of a year for him. 6-time NL stolen base leader. He was Ricky Henderson before Ricky Henderson. He has retired, not retired number, but he is a legend of Dodger baseball. There is a lot of talk as to why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Everyone kind of believes he belongs in there. There are a lot of reasons that don't necessarily have to do with baseball as to why people say he's not in the Hall of Fame. I will leave that to everyone's imagination and for you to look up yourselves because I don't want to denigrate someone I love. Right? I totally get it though. I'm not defending him. I totally get why they hold these things against him, and it's nothing racial or anything like that. It's just some bad decisions. NL record 104 stolen bases in 1962, which we won MVP. Wouldn't be broken for 13 years until it was broken in 1964 by Lou Brock. And as mentioned, he was the All-Star Game MVP, actually co-MVP. I forget the other guy was in 1962 as well. Maury was a character. If you saw interviews with him, even when he was playing, he was very dynamic. Now, he was off to a bad start, as so many young speedster guys are, because speed means nothing if you can't get on base. He wasn't a great bat, which changed, famously, do you know who he replaced at shortstop?
Wasn't it? Well, Pee Wee was it Pee Wee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In 1959, he came in to replace Pee Wee Reese. So that's a tough act to follow.
Yep.
Right, and which, you can say that could be why. Well, plus being a rookie, could be part of why he didn't play so great those first couple of years. But he kind of grew into it. Became known as a speedster. Like there's all these stories like people used to chant, "Go Maury, go!" whenever he was on base, like willing him to steal bases. He famously told Dave Robertson he was a coach of the Dodgers when Dave Roberts was a player for the Dodgers at the time. Who Dave Roberts later go on to have the most famous play of his career, stealing a base as a pinch runner, right?
Yeah.
And the way Doc tells it, Maury told him, one day you're going to have to steal a base when everyone knows you're going to steal a base.
Yep.
And you can't be afraid to do it. And that's exactly what happened to Dave. He was brought as a pinch runner on first, and everyone and their mother knew that's who he was there for. Like, you don't bring in Dave Roberts, who most people don't even know about, for any other reason to steal a base, right?
Yep.
And that's what he came in for. Again, this is the most famous moment of his baseball playing career. I won't say his total career if you include as a manager.
Yeah.
I think going back to back kind of cements it might be a little more important.
Right.
But Maury was a character. He was a good dude by all accounts of his teammates. A little feisty,
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna say? Sorry.
I would say breaking 100+ year curse is kind of a
over Dave.
Like it's a good number. It's a good number too.
Yeah. Well, this is like he was the only one who did it, but he's a big part of it.
Yeah.
he made it possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, people argue that he probably would have scored from first anyways on that hit that scored him.
Yeah.
Like he was that fast back then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why it's weird to see Dave now. Like he was a speed guy.
Yeah.
He also had a goatee
Mm-hmm.
and way more hair.
Yeah.
But like you kind of imagine Dave, that's what he was when you see how short he actually is. Like it
Oh
looks
yeah, yeah.
even worse as a manager because he's shrunken as he's gotten older, and everyone on the freaking
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers is like 6'5".
Yeah.
The whole team is giants, right? Not San Francisco Giants, just giant people. Otani is like 6'5". Freddie Freeman. I mean, Mookie looks short, but Mookie's 5'10". Yamamoto too
Mm-hmm.
looks like a midget, but again, he's like 5'9". He's above average height for an American male. When you got guys like, you know, Tanner Scott and Justin May for a while, Freddie, you know,
Yeah.
they all like
Super
midgets.
tall
Yeah.
dudes. Yeah.
Like Paz, I think is like 6'2" also or some crap, you know.
Yeah.
They're all big dudes. Maury was not a big dude either. The one story I like to tell, or one story I always remember, I was watching Backstage Dodgers. I think this is probably, I think it's right when they started Backstage Dodgers. They were doing something about, coaching or whatever, and they had two of our favorite Dodgers. They had Maury Wills and Manny Mota together. And they're watching tape and stuff and talking about hitting, and they're kind of throwing jabs at each other, which is hilarious, you know. Maury's like, I was faster than you, and Mota's like, oh, I hit a lot more home runs than you did, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just two old guys talking shop, and then they were talking about stealing bases or something, and Maury said, this is, you see how he's leading off here. This I taught him that because this is what I did when they gave me MVP in 1962, and Mota's like, what? They just gave it to you? Like you didn't have to earn it?
So
Maury gives him that little side eye, like,
like you know what I mean.
right? It's like you son of a, but those two guys, I've seen 5 or 6 videos of them interacting with audio. They were hilarious together because they're both feisty, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maury digs a little more. Manny does it as for fun. You can tell he gets a little upset. He tries to go for the jugular a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but rest in peace, Maury.
Yeah.
I
You
am
missed.
sad you never got to get to the Hall of Fame before you passed. He did make it's technically the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum,
Mm-hmm.
but they also induct black players into their Hall of Fame. So he did make that Hall of Fame, which he was very happy to get. I know I'm not saying it's not as well. No, it isn't as prestigious, but it would mean more to him to have gotten to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He fell off the ballot when he was initially available. I think he made it onto the Golden Age ballot, and he fell off again.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I know there's been some push to get him some recognition from various places. Of course, including Dave Roberts,
Mm-hmm.
especially after his death. So I know there's a little bit of a push to try to get him back onto the ballot, but I don't. I mean, the rules are weird with how they do that, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're still waiting for Hershiser and Valenzuela.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Valenzuela, I will admit, is a long shot.
Yeah.
We love Fernando. He's a legend. He's done more for Chicano Latino baseball than anyone else, except for maybe Juan Marshall, right?
Yeah.
But still, for Mexicans, there's only Fernando, right?
Yeah.
But you and me, we've talked about this. Like, to be honest, like, it's not necessarily a Hall of Fame career though.
Yeah.
His first year was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Those stats of his rookie year make your eyeballs pop out of your head.
Yeah.
But he didn't have longevity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why a better case to get the Hall of Fame, who's not in, is Orel Hershiser. He kind of suffered the same problem. His peak was super high, and he trailed off a lot after those peak years. But he had much more longevity than Fernando, and he didn't decline as steeply as Fernando did.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably, if Hershiser had retired 1 year earlier, he probably would have been in the Hall of Fame. This last year or
Yeah,
two did him no favors, you know.
yeah, it's crazy how a year or two will make a big difference on
Yeah,
whether or not. Well, because it just brings your averages down.
especially as a pitcher, right? Because he
Yeah.
wasn't a guy who was going to get in with counting stats.
Hmm.
Because that's no, people are going to flame me for this, but that's the thing people are saying about Miguel Cabrera. Like he
Yeah.
had to get to that hit total to get the Hall of Fame because like he already was a Hall of Famer, but those last several years did him no favors.
Yeah.
And that's the again, flame me all you want, but that's another one who says this. You know, a lot of people, including Chris Russo, everyone's favorite. That's why Aaron Judge has an interesting argument for Hall of Fame because again, his peak is very good,
Hmm.
but he doesn't have longevity yet. Because remember, he
Yeah.
got called up. He was a flash in the pan, it looked like, went back to the minors, stayed there for a couple years, then called up again, and they became the Aaron Judge we know and love today. But he is
Hmm.
older than people think.
Yeah.
People seem to think he's some young dude, or he's no. He was bouncing around the minors for a minute. What is
Yeah.
his current age, anyways? Let's see. He's also a monster of a man,
Yeah.
dude. The Dodgers Yankees World Series in '24 when they had like him, Stanton, and I forget who else together. I was like, those guys are gigantic. What the hell, right?
Yeah. Like median was like, I think median height was like six something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. So
crazy.
Aaron Judge is 6'7", by the way,
Yep.
but he is 34.
Yeah.
So everyone keep that in mind, right? Because he's essentially past his prime as far as your prime years really peak late 20s, early 30s, right? So he's on the decline road, which people have talked about for other players like Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is 33, and Mookie Betts is not as big as we know the big dudes like Jim Thome, right? They don't age as gracefully because their bodies are just so big.
Yeah. They'll break
Um,
down eventually, and
yeah, like Freddie
it'll be
too.
fun.
There's been a lot of talks about him retiring. I looked it up now. He is older. He's 36, so we know that, right?
Hmm.
Because he talked about playing till he's 40, which means a 4-year contract. He could potentially do it because he plays first base, right?
Yeah.
It's not a job. It's not a position where you run around a lot. Um, we'll see. I mean, he's a career 300 hitter. He's still batting 290 this year. Um, he's got over 100 hits already. So maybe he sticks around for a couple of years. We'll see. I mean, he's questioned it because of his daughter being born, right? He's a girl dad now. He wants to be home with her.
Hmm.
But it's a question mark for the Dodgers and for the Yankees. As these guys age, what do you do, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a natural first baseman to replace Freddie with.
Yeah.
And if Freddie becomes a free agent into this year and somebody pops up available, that's a tough decision to make.
Yep.
Let's say Murakami does opt out, right?
Mm,
And as the Dodgers are like,
that's
we
true.
have a shot at Murakami for a long-term deal.
Yeah.
If we sign Freddie to 4 more years, we're never getting Murakami
Yeah.
because he's going to sign somewhere else for like a 6-year deal probably.
Mm. At
Um,
that at that point, it would almost be like, I mean, I would think that they're looking at that right now. Like, do we trade Freeman for Murakami on a potential trade and sign,
yeah,
and then that way we lock up a first baseman for the next, 9 to 12 years bargaining agreement, which would
yeah.
allow them to potentially pay him more than whatever,
Is
if
it get
there's a salary
accuracy
cap
pay?
and there's a salary
Yeah.
cap, yeah.
No, I don't think they'll ever do that because I think Friedman won't go. Will never trade Freddie.
Hmm.
Like, as far as statistically, Freddie is valuable, but I think just from a fan base perspective, he won't do it.
Hmm.
Because, dude, people will riot if they traded Freddie.
Yeah.
Even if it was for Aaron Judge, people would not want it, right?
Yeah.
Um, Now, Teoscar, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, as far as first base in the future, we have what? Alex Freeland, not Kyle because he's a pitcher for the Rockies. I keep wanting to say Kyle Freeland.
Mhm.
And technically Dalton Rushing, right?
Yeah.
Because all the other top prospects are all outfielders. So that's pretty much all we got right now. I think they did draft another first baseman, but it's the draft. Those guys change positions all the time.
Yeah.
The other question mark is third base, right? Next month, he ain't getting any younger.
Hmm.
That's how old is he now? How old are you,
Oh, he's
Munchie?
close to 40-ish.
Hmm?
I would say he's like 40-ish, I think.
Munchie is 35,
Oh, really?
so he's a year older than Aaron Judge.
Dang. That's
Remember,
crazy though.
he too didn't really come into his own until later in his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dodgers are actually pretty old, right, as a team.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, that's why the quote unquote window is now doesn't mean the window's ever going to close because of what they got brewing in the minor leagues.
Right.
That's why, like, even if there is a salary cap, I'm not worried because unless they cap organizational spend outside of salary, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? You can cap payroll, the Dodgers are still going to end up ahead, just like we
Yeah.
saw in the NFL, right? NFL has that salary cap forever. Why can the Browns never win?
Yeah. It doesn't actually create parity is the
No,
thing.
because parity isn't just money; it's effort.
Yeah.
That's why the Rays make the playoffs every year with like 1/10 the salary of the Dodgers and the Mets, right?
Hmm.
It's about effort and being smart, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's basically that, but it just drives me crazy because there's those ads during the All Star game too. Salary cap is due and it's a propaganda war where they're MLB is weaponizing the Dodgers and the media is weaponizing the Dodgers as a reason for a salary cap.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go on my soapbox a little bit, and people can call me crazy for saying this,
All right.
but what really upsets me about this is that if it was an East Coast team doing this, this wouldn't happen,
Hmm.
right? There's so much anti-California, anti-Los Angeles, anti-West Coast bias in the media, especially in sports, right? And
Hmm.
amongst the fan bases, they all hate Los Angeles. They all talk about it, right? Never been
Yeah.
here, never met anyone from Los Angeles. They all say LA sucks. I'm like, that's cool if you think that, but I don't say any city sucks until I go there and spend a long time, right?
Yeah.
Um, except for New York, and I always hated New York, but that's generational hate. But that's driving it. People need a villain, and they're vilifying the Dodgers and using them as an example. We need a salary cap because of the Dodgers, not because baseball is inherently broken.
Hmm.
It's because they don't want to see the Dodgers or the West Coast team succeed.
Yeah.
So I saw a report. I don't remember if it was Forbes or it was one of the kind of non. It was like an economics paper or somewhere. Like it was, they're talking about it. Like people talk about the spending of the Mets, and the Dodgers, comparing it to the Yankees dynasty era, and be like, oh, but the Yankees only spent $300 million, whatever the hell it was, right?
Hmm.
They said, well, adjusting for inflation, it's pretty much equivalent, but the backbreaker is if you compare adjusting for inflation, the salaries between them and the rest of the league, the gap is gigantic
Oh yeah.
between the Yankees of that era and every other team, including the bottom feeder teams, right?
Yeah.
Now the Dodgers have a huge gap, true, but it was nothing compared to that '90s spending gap,
Hmm.
and that didn't cause the CBA to be brought into question,
Right.
right? The one thing I'm worried about, I'm not really worried about. This is a part I don't like, right? And this is a movement across the country, which is socialism, right? It's coming into its
Mhm.
limelight right now. And now people aren't going to want to hear this because we're in LA, we're Dodger fans, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of what they're trying to push, which is, total revenue sharing between the teams, right?
Yeah.
Why should the Dodgers making all this money benefit other teams who don't make money?
Yeah.
It's not a charity. You
Hmm.
bought this franchise, right?
Yep.
You bought all these franchise. You bought your franchise, Bob Nutting,
Yeah.
with your
You know what we're
billions of
talking about.
dollars, right? Don't cry poor and ask for handouts from bigger cities.
Yeah.
That's what is irritating me. Like you get these guys who bought their teams on the cheap, quote unquote,
Hmm.
and now they're pushing to get free money from the bigger teams
Yeah.
by crying poor. And I was like, well, to be fair, I'm sorry, sports is not fair.
Yeah.
It's a meritocracy, right? This isn't Little League where everyone gets an at bat.
Hmm.
If you suck, you're gone.
Yeah.
That's how it is. The best players get paid the most money. And people are like, well, it
Hmm.
works for football. It doesn't work for football. We've had, what, how many, 5 teams win every Super Bowl in the last 20 years or some crap like that,
Yeah.
right? It's like the
Hmm.
Steelers, the Patriots, and the Chiefs, right? Won like how many Super Bowls combined in the last 20 years? Some stupid number like that.
Yeah.
It's and again, I bring up the teams that suck. The Browns suck. They still suck. What has parity done for them? It allows the Spanos to do nothing and still collect the same revenue as the New York Giants or the Cowboys.
Hmm.
How is that fair? Right?
Yeah.
He
It's
doesn't even
not.
have his own damn stadium.
Yeah. He rents. He's a renter.
He's a renter in someone else's stadium. You know? And do you want base to go to that? Do you want, like, as a Padres fan, they always sell at every game. How do you feel knowing that
Mhm.
all your ticket, all the ticket, all the merch you're buying, all that money is going to help the Athletics?
Right.
Because you're going to make a revenue pie that everyone gets. I think the only thing that they're going to have on their own is ticket sales, whatever. But that's nothing compared to like if they really get a national TV deal, right?
Hmm.
Because everyone complains Dodgers TV deal. Well, get your own then,
Yeah.
right? Well, I can't get one that big. Doesn't matter if you can't get one that big. Get one bigger. Figure out a way to make that revenue. Those teams can do it. There's other ways to get fans besides relying on your geography. That's
Yeah.
the takeaway of the Dodgers. Yes, they have an
Yeah.
advantage being in Los Angeles, but look at all the international fans they have. They have fans all over the world and all over the country.
Hmm.
You see Otani jerseys everywhere. You see Dodgers hats everywhere in the world, everywhere in the country now, in places you would normally never see them.
Right.
They play in Milwaukee, you see a bunch of Dodgers gear. They play in Miami, you see a bunch of Dodgers gear. They're going to play in
Hmm.
the Yankees starting tomorrow. You're probably going to see a bunch of Dodger fans there too,
Yep.
you know? And that's how you make the money, right?
Hmm.
You could do that, especially in this era of the internet, right?
Yeah.
These teams can be creative with their social media. They can promote themselves, promote their players. Like the Dodgers' biggest failing right now for me is Backstage Dodgers because it's so well made, but it's only on their own channel.
Yeah.
If they just made those a free YouTube thing,
Hmm.
they'd get even more fans. They would get
Yeah.
more people invested. And any team could do it. You don't have to spend millions of dollars for this, right?
Hmm.
The Angels actually have something like this. You know?
Hmm.
In the era of social media, work on your YouTube channel. Get those hits, get those views. We know all about it, right?
Yep.
So create the revenue. Don't go begging other teams for money, is my point.
Hmm.
Don't blame other teams for your lack of revenue. You could find the way to run. You became a billionaire figuring that out.
Right. Like apply that to your team. Like
If you're
figure it
that
out.
great of a businessman, you could figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I don't like. I don't like the whole wealth redistribution part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets to pay for half the league because that's not fair,
Yeah.
right? The team that spends the most money, does the biggest geography and all this other stuff, it doesn't matter how
Hmm.
much money they make because other teams are going to get a piece of it.
Yeah.
How is that fair? Why even be in that city then? And that's what my biggest fear is. Once everyone has guaranteed money, right? What's going to keep them from leaving?
Hmm.
It doesn't matter where my team is playing. I get the same
Yeah.
money.
Hmm.
So then you start going, just like we see football. Well, I need a free stadium now.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Well, I
they
can
become professional beggars
yeah, I
essentially.
can afford a stadium because I have a salary floor. That's not true.
Yeah.
You can totally afford a stadium, right?
Hmm.
But like we saw with the Mavericks for basketball,
Yeah.
they cry poor because they want to build a casino on that land,
Hmm.
so they tank their team valuation, right?
Yep.
And we saw like John Fisher with the A's. Like there's nothing wrong with Oko. I mean, it's old, but so is Dodger Stadium. So is the Big
Yeah.
A, right? He could
Hmm.
spend the money. He's a billionaire. He could spend the money renovating it. He still had a pretty good fan base. The team could have played better to make more money.
Yeah.
But just like Bob Nutting, he's too happy getting fat off the luxury tax.
Hmm.
And
He doesn't have to do anything.
yeah,
Like he doesn't have to spend money to make money.
yeah.
Essentially.
And then now, if you want to do revenue sharing, it's even worse because instead of getting 40 million, whatever it was for luxury tax distribution, you know, potentially they're going to get 80, 90, $100 million or whatever the hell it ends up being, right? You don't have to do a damn thing. You get
Yep.
paid just for existing. And the ultimate goal of this is not to make baseball better, it's to increase team valuations.
Yeah.
That's to be able to
It's like you can
understand.
sell it for more. Hmm.
That's always been the complaint from ownership in baseball is that their team valuations are all over the place because of salary.
Hmm.
In football, basketball, and hockey, team valuations are a known amount because everyone has the same salary.
Hmm.
There's a window. So anyone wanting to buy your team, or if you want to sell your team, that goes into your accounting ledger up front. It's easy.
Hmm.
But if you want to sell the Dodgers, for example, you have to tell them you're buying this team. You're also buying our $300 million payroll.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I could buy the A's and their $40 million payroll instead,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So that's what it's about. Once you make even money like this, the A's go, well, my payroll, because of the CBA is now $80 million, but I get $100 million a year free.
Yeah.
So whoever I sell the team to, you're profitable 20 million before sales and everything else up front.
Hmm.
The team pays for itself just by existing, and that's what I don't want to see. Is we're going to see
Yeah.
more and more lazy baseball.
Of that. Yeah.
We see it in football. We see it in basketball, right?
Yeah.
The the
I mean,
supermax the
we're
supermax
already
deals.
seeing it in the product. So.
Yeah, the supermax deal in the CBA in basketball was supposed to make every team fair.
Hmm.
It was supposed to bring balance, but the most balanced league as far as championship winners is baseball.
Yeah.
Ironically, the smartest thing they did to get that to happen was increasing the number of playoff teams.
Hmm.
It may only on paper be, oh, it's only two more teams. That's a lot of teams, though. You went from 8 teams, right, making the playoffs to 12.
Yeah.
In a team of in a league of 30 teams. That's a lot. You know, that's like 40%.
It's damn near half the freaking
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
So that makes baseball more enticing. That was
Hmm.
to me, that was the smartest move. A lot of people didn't like it. I get why.
Yeah.
But I actually liked it. I liked the idea that okay, let's get four more teams in the playoffs. Now teams who are like we don't have a shot are like, dude, we're in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
it's made for
All those teams that we were talking about
yeah,
just a minute ago,
yeah,
they have a chance because of the extra spots.
yeah. And it's made for really compelling baseball the last 3 years coming into the final week.
Hmm.
The
Now,
Tigers
does that
snuck in.
affect?
Look at the run they went
Yeah,
on
the
last year,
Reds. Hmm.
right? I mean, the Reds
Yeah.
didn't do much, but they snuck in.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool as hell. And I don't want to see. I mean, I don't want to hear this whole salary cap is going to make us balance because it's not. You're just saying that because you don't want another Dodgers team, but you're okay with the Mets existing, who spends just as much money because they don't win,
Yeah.
right? And again, to me, it's East Coast bias. If the Yankees were doing this, no one would care.
Hmm.
Oh, this is how the Yankees play baseball, and we do baseball the right way, and this is just tradition. Or if
Yeah.
the Mets were successful, people would celebrate it. People keep talking about Otani's contract. I'm like, Juan Soto makes more.
Right.
He had
And
like
and he's terrible.
yeah,
He's actually
he had
terrible.
like a $70 million signing bonus,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we got to get rid of deferrals. They're not the only team that does deferrals.
Yeah.
Other teams don't do deferrals. You know why? Because they don't want that money on the books for when they sell the team.
Yeah.
That's why they're resistant. The teams who are like Colin, he's got deferrals, the Mets,
Hmm.
because they know, right? He didn't defer Soto because that was his commitment to Soto. Here's your money up front.
Yeah.
Padres did deferrals too. They're like, you know what? This is a way for us with our revenue stream to make sure that we can get these guys signed. Now they went a little crazy with it. They overextended a little bit. Getting Xander
Yeah.
Bogaerts' contract was ridiculous.
Hmm.
Tatis honestly was not a bad contract because at the time you're like, okay, you signed him cheap and young, right?
Yeah. When he signed, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, same with Jackson
Now,
Merrill. Now it looks a little
well,
bad, you know.
yeah.
But who's to say that the same thing would happen to the Dodgers? Is Yamamoto's contract going to age well? Who knows?
Mm.
We're only 2 years in on his contract of 12 years.
Hmm.
Mookie's got 6 more years to go, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So these all long contracts too. Doesn't always work out, and that's the
Hmm.
real financial advantage of the Dodgers. They could absorb that cost.
Hmm.
I mean, being run by a major financial institution helps, not a
All
major
right.
investing firm, right? But I don't. That's for me. I don't see it as a problem, and I prefer the story of the underdogs winning. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
like I would love to see the Pirates win the World Series against like the Dodgers. Well, not Dodgers, they couldn't do that, but against like the Yankees or something, right? Because they're both National League.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
would be
Not because they
compelling.
couldn't, but because they're in the same league. Come
Yeah,
on, people.
but it's compelling. Like the Dodgers
Mm-hmm.
barking this year is 100% correct. The league needs a
Hmm.
bad guy.
Hmm.
Why fight it? Just embrace it. We're the bad guys. We get it, right? And
Yeah.
leaning into it is actually something that worked. Like the whole Yankees evil empire thing, right?
Hmm.
So I totally get it. But I don't. I don't. I guess what frustrates me is being the villain's one thing, but being a scapegoat is something different.
Yeah.
Being vilified to potentially ruin your own team as a fan is something crazy to me.
Hmm.
Because again, no one's looking long term. I do not see a lot of good coming out of this. Granted, they won't accept everything the MLB has currently proposed, but they're asking for crazy stuff. We talked about
Yeah,
here
they're asking
before.
for a lot.
International draft. That's crazy talk to me.
Hmm.
That's just wild to me.
Yeah.
We're going to see a huge decline in international play if that's the case.
Hmm.
Um, and again, and essentially getting rid of the minor leagues
Yeah.
and forcing guys to just play in college. Like, there's going to be like no developmental time anymore. Like, why would we have like we won't need single A or complex anymore?
Yeah. And really, we use complex not only for like the guys coming out of high school,
Yeah,
right? But if those guys are good, they're just gonna go. They're just gonna jump to low A
yeah, they're not going to
or
stay in
high
complex
A,
forever.
depending.
Yeah,
Yeah, but those complex is there for like the international players that are coming in
yeah,
to get accustomed to the way that we play ball here.
yeah.
It's
Well, and
not
also
so much
things
of.
like helping them adjust to life in America too,
Hmm.
especially because these kids are like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah,
You know,
it's more of a
that's
social thing than
yeah,
a developmental thing.
yeah. Well, developmental in a different way, not baseball development, but social development,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, that's going to go away. Like I said, the whole redistribution of wealth is going to make it. Like, the Dodgers won't suffer because if there's no cap on organizational spending, they're just going to spend more on analysis, just like the Rays do,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That's where Freeman came from. So, but like I said, it's going to make teams lazier.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see more teams move.
Hmm. A lot more teams do.
I don't want it to happen. I hate when teams leave their city.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is essentially probably going to leave.
God, dude, like how tragic would that be?
Very.
That would be I might stop watching baseball. It's like that's insane to me. Like we don't think of Pittsburgh or the Pirates as a sort of legendary baseball team anymore because the last several years have not been great for them. But dude, they're an iconic baseball team as far as the history of baseball in America is concerned,
Uh-huh.
right? And the idea of them leaving is just wild to me. I mean, we already saw it with the A's.
Mhm.
I mean, the rest of the league does pay attention again because it's the West Coast team, but the A's are Oakland and vice versa, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like the Padres leaving at this point. Oh, San Diego and Oakland both lost all their teams except for the baseball team until recently for Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Losing that is like what the hell, you know? Same for San Diego. They can't lose the Padres. They have nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Brewers even,
Yeah.
you know, the Rays, the Marlins, like what's keeping them there? You know, if they're getting free money, we'll just move anywhere else where we can get more fans because that's where they actually will be able to make money. If you revenue sharing, the part you don't
Mhm.
share is ticket prices.
Yeah.
In park sales are not shared with the league as it is today.
Right.
Every hot dog, every soda, every ticket you sell, that's your money, not the league's money.
Mm-hmm.
But TV becomes league's money. Jerseys are already league's money. Merchandise, like those merchandise is already league's money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now if you make all revenue league's money, you're like, dude, I'm not gonna keep playing in Miami because we get like 2,000 fans a game.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Tennessee.
Right.
Bob Nutting, same thing. He's like, he straight up said that he told the fans, I will not increase payroll because our payroll is tied to our ticket sales.
Uh-huh.
If you guys don't come to the game, I can't get more players. But no one's going to the games because your team sucks. So he's putting the onus on the fans while making zero effort to improve the team,
Yeah.
right? The fans will come if you win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you imagine the Angels leaving too?
Yeah, so that was the next thing I was gonna say. I was like, Angels are gone. Like
That
if they get sold or whatever. But
that would break my heart, 100%.
mm-hmm.
Because that would just I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
Again, we're Dodger fans. We're also Angel fans. So
Yeah.
that would be supremely upsetting to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because it's like the original LA team, right? Like,
Well, I mean, they were PCL.
yeah. But
they weren't a major league team. The original major league team is the Dodgers, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
they were here before the Dodgers as a PCL team. They were our professional non-MLB team, right? There were
Mm-hmm.
others, but they're the ones that survived.
Yeah. I mean, technically they have the first no hitter at Dodger Stadium as the home team.
Mm-hmm. They also technically had the LA logo before the Dodgers did.
Yeah.
It looked a little different. It had more of a serif on it, but or curly serif. But yeah, it was essentially the same logo, which again
Yeah.
was not anything revolutionary because every team used that, essentially letter on top of a letter back then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every team was just a letter or two letters, you know, nothing new, right? Um,
Yep.
yeah, that's why I it's just sad to think about. I mean, because we see it in football.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns left.
Yep.
They went to Baltimore. Oh, the Browns are no, that's not the Browns. That's the Oilers,
Yeah.
which left Houston. Also unfathomable, right?
Yeah. Well, the Titans,
Or
right?
Titans, sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also unfathomable, you know. And the Browns
Mm-hmm.
were what? Where were they from? The new
No,
Browns.
the New Browns are an actual expansion team.
Oh, the actual expansion? Okay, yeah. Because they became the
Yeah.
Ravens, which is fucking crazy to me.
Right.
NHL too. I mean, NHL has a lot of moves.
Mm-hmm.
NHL's the wackiest league when it comes to teams living like just popping up and then dying or moving around. Because like the Jets are back,
Mm-hmm.
Winnipeg's back, baby.
Well, that's the other crazy thing. At least the like I guess the at least the decency of the Oilers moving was that they changed their name.
Yeah.
You know, like they became essentially a new team.
Mm-hmm.
the Colts going to Indianapolis
Oh,
from
dude,
Baltimore and not
yeah.
changing the name, that was like a slap in the face to the
Well, not
fans.
only
Like,
that was the whole, the whole story of them, like, essentially, like, in the middle of the night they left.
yeah, they snuck out.
Yeah, that's crazy to
Hmm.
me that that really happened.
Yeah, and it'll happen at baseball too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
people don't realize that. Like, this is just the way teams are going to operate. Like, will there be a fan base? Yeah, like you can make your voices loud, but at the end of the day, like I'm for like it's a business. Like
Yeah.
these people don't like if they're gonna go where the ticket sales are gonna matter, and if your town is like if your politicians are anti teams,
Hmm.
San Diego, like
Yep.
those teams aren't gonna last.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's just crazy to think like that we could see potentially a lot of teams moving. Potentially no baseball in the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
depending on the owner.
Which is
And
crazy
yeah,
because baseball keeps wanting to expand to the Midwest and the South,
hmm,
and this is how they're going to do it.
yeah,
They're not going to make an expansion because to really expand, you'd have to get 6 new teams essentially to keep things the way they are, right? But
yeah,
you're rather than do that, it's like, well, we'll just move teams around, and that's like I don't even want to think about it, but it's a very real fear of mine. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen for sure, but it's very likely if I'm talking the revenue sharing part more than the salary cap
yeah.
part. That's the part I don't want to see happen. Because again, I don't want socialist baseball
Hmm.
because it's a compelling story when the little dog beats up the big dog,
Yeah,
and in baseball it happens all the time.
yeah. And your owners are just gonna be happy because guess what? We have X amount of people that come every year, regardless of how we do.
Hmm.
It's the Artie Marino mentality that's gonna win over
Yeah,
if it moves into a cap. That people only want these 5 things, and winning isn't in that top 5.
yeah. Well,
And
NFL's a perfect
it works
example.
for us,
Almost
and
every
yeah,
NFL team sells out all their games. It doesn't matter how bad they are.
yeah,
Like you never watch an NFL game where there's an empty stadium,
yeah.
regardless of how bad they are, right?
Hmm. I mean, we used to when they didn't have a cap.
Yep. People vote with their money.
Hmm.
If you suck, they won't come see you.
Hmm.
And that's just gonna suck for as Dodger fans. That personally, that's what hurts for us is like knowing that we have these high ticket prices because we're in LA. Cost of living's high here. The staff
Yeah.
makes a lot of money. I mean, the ushers here make more money than ushers anywhere else in the country except for maybe New York, right?
Hmm.
Um, but knowing that every time you buy a Dodgers jersey, every hot dog you buy, every soda, every time you watch Dodger TV, you're paying for the Brewers. You're paying for the A's.
Hmm.
Your money's not going to the team, right? With watching
Yeah.
TV. That's the upsetting part.
Yeah. I'm no longer helping my team be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, because like the only reason we buy a $12 Dodger dog is like, hey, at least Dodger get the money. You know,
Yeah.
if someone's gonna rip me off, it better be someone I love. Yeah,
Right.
that's why I buy jerseys at the stadium and not on Fanatics.com.
Right.
Because first of all, Fanatics doesn't get the money that way. Well, they still do, but not as much as the team gets, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's again that's a larger discussion, but that's the part that I think people aren't thinking about. They're just emotional. Oh, the Dodgers have to be stopped. Why do the Dodgers have to be stopped? That's what I want to ask people. What's wrong with it?
Uh-huh.
How does the salary cap make your team better? It doesn't, right? That's
Yeah.
that's that's the crux of it for me. You think a salary cap in Florida is going to make your team better overnight? It's not.
Nope.
Because you're going to be like John Fisher with the A's, where he signed a random dude to a bigger contract just for the sake of getting his luxury tax payment,
Yeah.
so he would still qualify. You know, and that's what you're going to see. He's still not gonna try to put that much effort into it. Look at Artie Moreno. Spends a crap ton of
Hmm.
money. What has it gotten him? Right?
Hmm.
The Mets this year and their dysfunction, all that money spent. Meanwhile, the Rays with their like $30 million payroll are in first place over the Yankees.
Yeah, it's still wild to me.
But they spend more money than most of their teams, except for like the Dodgers and on development too. The Brewers are another example. The Brewers spend a lot of money in development and research and R&D and technology.
Yeah.
That was their decision. They're like, look, we're not going to be able to compete at salary. Let's just keep producing good players, just like the Rays do. It's what the A's used to do during the Moneyball era, right? Let's use analytics and smart people, brains to figure out how to build the best team on a budget. And the Brewers are, they get no respect, but they're pretty much always in the running for the playoffs. Now, I know there's a whole stigma like, anyone who beats the Brewers wins the World Series, whatever, or makes it to the World Series. But the fact that they're consistently in it, it's like one of those days you're going to be right. Right? Which brings me to, I'm sorry, I'll take a little shot at you here, right?
Oh.
To our NFL comparison, right?
Oh, God. Here we go.
Well, think
Bengals
about it.
Hate. Of
right?
course.
Of course. Well, and the Bills, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because again, if we really had parity, those teams would have eventually won.
Yeah.
But they haven't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And baseball is a far more random sport than football is.
Yeah.
That's why we had the Rangers win their first World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we had the Mariners almost make it last year.
Yeah.
They kind of squeaked by, they just got hot at the right time, and we've seen that year after year. Look at the Detroit's run last year. So you see, like, look at the Royals, they won their World Series. That wasn't a team you would pick to win the World Series that year.
Mm-hmm.
Or our favorite, the Angels, was it 2002? Nobody saw that coming.
Mm-mm.
Against Barry Bonds, the Giants? No way in hell they should have won the World Series that year.
Right.
Listen, luck is part of being good sometimes, right? That's all there is to it. So, anyways, I think I've ranted enough about this. We'll have a very long off season to rant about potential CBA madness on both sides too. I do agree more needs to be done for the bottom feeder teams to make them spend more. The problem is you won't get a floor without a cap, right? And the league is not wanting to do a cap without revenue sharing. That's where my consternation is. I'm not necessarily anti-cap, right? I'm anti-revenue sharing. If you make more money than anyone else because you live in a larger media, then you just do, right? It's like Coca-Cola doesn't have to give their profits to Mr. Pibb, or not Mr. Like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's in a distant third place than them and Pepsi, right?
Yeah.
But they're not required to give them part of their profits for revenue sharing to keep it fair.
Yeah.
The same business,
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. There's 4 teams in the NFL that have never made it to the Super Bowl.
Never
And
made
one
it.
of them is never made it, like have never appeared in a Super Bowl. One of them is because 3 of them technically are because they're expansion teams.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have that long enough of a history, but like there's one of those teams that has never made it is the Lions.
Yeah.
Right? So like those 4 teams consist of 12% of the league.
Yeah.
Right? Compare that to one team that has never made it to the World Series.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing that almost every team has appeared in a World Series for baseball except for one.
Yeah.
And potentially the teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl will continue to never make it because of the revenue scheme that they have.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Like, would it have been awesome if the Tiger, I keep calling them the Tigers, but that's their baseball team, not their football team. damn you, animal teams.
The Motor City Kitties.
Right? But it's crazy to think that they'll potentially wouldn't will never make it with the contracting, like the CBA that they currently have.
Yeah.
And potentially they could make it if it was a little bit more free for them to sign whatever players they wanted instead of.
And again, it's in a CBA that is quote unquote designed for parity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's not working
Mm-hmm.
because again, it's not just salary; it's the effort, having the right people, having good scouting, having good player development, all that stuff, good coaching. That all costs money. That's not counted
Mm-hmm.
towards your salary cap, right?
Yeah. But it
That,
makes a world of a difference.
oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not worried about the Dodgers. Should there be a salary cap,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be just fine because Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Friedman did much more with much less before
Oh yeah.
as a GM of the Rays. He's done this dance before. Now, where it's really going to suck is fans will just have to get used to the idea of your superstar is not going to stick around. It's
Yeah.
going to be just like basketball. Whatever team has a cheap young core of talent, that's where the superstar vets are going to go to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Because that team can both afford, that has a good core of people who are on minimum contracts and can afford to bring in a superstar to win a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then give it a couple years, those guys become free agents, the team kind of falls apart unless they have really good drafting, right? And development.
Yeah.
And so the superstar bounces onto the next team that does that. And we basketball of all sports is a sport where like you never gonna we hardly ever see that career guy anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing. Like, what's it called? The whole LeBron James thing with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, contract negotiations for all the teams are being held up right now because that dude hasn't made a decision.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's being signed. Like normally we'd see like
Well, Lakers are signing guys because they already
signings or
know the decision. He's not
trades or
coming
whatever.
back.
Yeah, but every other team is like, well, we need to know,
Yeah.
you know, if we have the money to sign him, we want to sign him.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, he's basically holding up the entire league,
Mhm.
like moves and stuff. So if your team gets a terrible role in RNG and who they can
Yeah.
sign because of one dude,
Yeah.
and it's like, do you guys really want that to happen for baseball?
Like Otani and Soto didn't do that because like most of the teams like we can't afford them.
Uh-huh.
We're not paying that money, right? So
Mm-hmm.
most teams were never in the running to begin with. They might have made an offer, but they're like, yeah, we're not getting Otani. We're not getting Soto, right?
Uh-huh.
We'll probably see that, again, assuming there's no cap, with Tarek Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
The teams are not going to sit on their hands, be like, or wait and see where he signs, because a lot of them are just be like, yeah, we're never going to sign him for that kind of money.
Yeah, and then
Right?
the other thing too is pending the CBA, whatever like is going to happen, like we might not see like this upcoming trade deadline may only be trades. Like we
Yeah.
won't see a trade and sign
Yeah.
because nobody wants to potentially like. I mean, we might see that if the Dodgers, they might do it. The Mets might do it. The Yankees might do it.
Yeah.
But any of these smaller teams that are like, well, we're only going to get him as a rental because we're giving up like 20 prospects for Tarek Skubal, and
Yeah.
it's like, but we're not going to sign him because the CBA is
Up in the air.
we want to wait to see what the negotiations are going to look like.
And the owners themselves are banking on there being a salary cap.
Yeah.
So, which sucks with Tarek Skubal. He's going to go into free
Mhm.
agency in a salary cap year, potentially.
Um,
Like, I joked about, before I die, we're going to see $1 billion baseball contract. And we got close already. 700 Otani,
Uh-huh.
725 to Soto. And I didn't only mean that as a joke. I really wanted to see it. I want to see
Yeah.
a $1 billion athlete that has nothing to do with sponsorships.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, Otani makes $1 billion a year or whatever, but
Yeah.
more like that. He makes basically all his money off of sponsorships.
Yeah. Like, you're that good of a player
Mm-hmm.
that one team is willing to offer you insane money.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like him and Soto, over $700 million. That is amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And people are think it's ridiculous, whatever. No, that's America. I want to see our athletes make stupid money. They
Yeah.
deserve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do. Because their careers are short. Their careers can end tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And that's
And
what people forget is a wrong step could potentially kill your career.
I mean, we saw Edwin Diaz celebrating at home plate,
Mhm.
blew up his knee. We've seen guys. We've had guys who like banged their hand on a wall. Guys who went dirt biking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
mundane stuff sometimes. People get out of bed wrong. Like
Yeah.
Will Smith. Look at this.
Yeah. Eating a salad with a
He almost killed
sharp
Dustin May.
fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, thankfully, current news. Thankfully, he didn't get explosive diarrhea. That's a story for that's making the rounds right now. No more salads for me for the next couple weeks.
Right.
Everything's cooked. No raw veggies for me. But yeah, I want to see like it's something to idolize. This is the American way, right? I want to see
Yeah.
a guy become a billionaire for playing a sport.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before in other ways in day-to-day stuff where it's like, how do you like I find it strange and yeah, sorry guys, we're totally yapping here, but
Yeah,
I like we've talked about it where I find it strange that we talk to kids like we're in the if you guys don't know we're in the car scene as well.
yeah,
So but we talk to kids and their dream car is an Accord and you like look at them weird and you're like, what?
yeah,
And they're like, yeah, I want to grow up and I want to own an Accord, something that's reliable and that lasts me a long time. It's like, no, like
yeah.
what are you talking about? Like you want an exotic as your
Right.
as your dream car. That's like an Accord is not a poster car. A you know,
Especially not now.
Lamborghini, Ferrari, yeah, like damn, dude, like how did we get to this spot
Or
where
even, I've seen
we
people
can't even
like
dream big?
guys go, oh, I finally got to buy my dream car, and I look at the post and it's like a Super BRZ. And I'm
Right?
like, you need bigger dreams, homie.
Yeah.
Like I love that car. Don't get me wrong, right? It's an
Hmm.
amazing car, but if your dreams stop at $35,000 for a car,
Yeah, you got a bit of a problem there, bud.
yeah, I get that not everyone has big dreams, but that's why they're called dreams.
Hmm.
Like baseball players, like of course you want to hit the walk off home run like Freddie Freeman in extra innings or the bottom of the ninth, whatever, right?
Hmm.
But you also want
Yeah.
that recognition. Like you want to get paid. That's what
Yeah.
all the pain and suffering is for. That's what all the work is for. And that's not always about money, but it's always about money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'll say this to the damn blue in the face. Everyone who goes out and says, "Well, your team just buys championships," whether it's about the Dodgers, Yankees, whoever, that's bullshit. Every team buys their championships because nobody plays for free.
Hmm.
Every championship is bought.
Yeah.
Every win, every loss is paid for.
Yeah, that's what everybody forgets. Like like people still think of baseball as the original base. Like if we were playing by original baseball rules, we would be watching 5-hour games, and the managers would be also players, and they could change fucking players while the ball's in the air.
Yeah, or they could throw at a runner to get him out.
Yeah, like actually hit the runner,
Yeah, the
like
old
not
crazy
get
rules.
caught.
Yeah,
Yeah,
spiking people.
yeah. It's crazy to think that like the game has advanced so far, but at the same time, people still think of it as the oh well we drafted our team and blah 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 blah. It's like yeah, but in order to keep those players, you have to pay them.
Yeah,
Like, and if you don't pay them, guess what? They go to somewhere else, and then you get angry because somebody else paid them. It's like,
yeah,
well, what did you expect? You didn't fucking pay them.
yeah.
Like,
And
what the
again,
hell,
with
man?
salary cap, that's going to be common. Like
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone, like once salary cap becomes a thing, and remember what it says, enjoy your favorite player while you can, because he won't
Hmm.
be your favorite player for long.
Yep.
because
Yeah,
there's
that's
always
still
going to be like in football, unless it's a quarterback.
yeah. There's
Even
no
then,
longevity.
unless it's like Mahomes or like a franchise quarterback guy,
Yeah,
those guys shuffle in and out
and
all day.
yeah, and then you'll really see like which positions they favor the most.
Yeah.
Like obviously the pitchers are going to be like the pitchers are going to be okay with salary cap because they're going to get paid a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like their number one position, you want to have as many aces or strong arms on your team,
Hmm.
right? DH might be like number 2.
Yeah.
Just in general because of Otani, and then
Well, you want an
uh
offensive position that can consistently produce without risk of injury, which is what DH is, right?
yeah,
That's the advantage of DHing is that like the guy's not running around the field, you know, so
yeah, potentially
they don't get
hurting
injured as
themselves.
often.
Hmm.
So it's a better ROI if you're
Yeah,
on a salary cap for sure.
yeah, and then probably like first base. Yeah, like the guys that are going to get shit on are going to be the corner outfielders and probably the middle infielders.
Well, the people who are going to get murdered are anyone who's not producing offensively
Yeah,
because, like I said, this, going back to Bellinger, people are like, "Why do we ever get rid of Bellinger? We should have blah blah blah." His defense is so good. The league is littered with guys with great defense who can't hit for crap. They're a dime a dozen, right?
yeah, and
But,
it brings us over to like another person that like current Dodger.
yeah,
That's the same way. It's fucking Kim. Like I'm like
yeah.
I really want Kim to work out for us,
Of course we do.
right?
You know,
Yeah, but he needs to get better at hitting.
100%.
Otherwise, he just becomes a regular dude like everybody else.
Yeah,
And it's like I forgot who was saying that the game today is like it's doo doo
yeah,
because like everybody's hitting 200 plus, nobody's hitting over 300.
yeah,
It's all launch angle, like private batting uh institutions has ruined baseball.
hmm
And that's the same thinking that is happening in all the sports in America, not just baseball.
yeah. Well, look at
You know,
basketball. I mean, everyone's dropping back for threes.
hmm
Basketball is has never been more boring.
yeah, it's all long ball and
It's all
not
lobs, long balls. Yeah,
yeah.
we're not battling in the paint anymore. Of course, they added the 5 second rule, whatever, too, which doesn't help, right?
Mhm.
Or 7 second,
Yeah,
whatever the hell it is. But I miss,
yeah,
I miss like Patrick Ewing going to the paint and just plastering people.
yeah. I mean, they need to bring back hand checking because
Oh
that
yeah,
was like I understand why they got rid of it, but it was something that wasn't
you know,
necessarily
you know,
a foul.
you know who ruined that for everybody though?
Hmm.
The whole foul thing is still Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah,
His fucking double clutch move, jump into someone to shoot, is still the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, and he always got
yeah,
away with it because
yeah. Like, why don't they get rid of that?
he steps back, steps forward, he does a stab step, and then he
Yeah,
comes in low, and then he kind of like he doesn't jump hard, like he doesn't do it so that he knocks someone down, but he slides up against you as he's taking his shot, and he gets that foul every single time.
yeah.
And once that became a known thing, basketball was on the decline because everyone's like, "Oh crap," you know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah. Well, now,
Jordan couldn't play in modern NBA.
yeah, like now, even standing under somebody as they're jumping is
Yeah,
considered a foul, and
yep,
it's like I get it for player safety, but again, this is a thing that is caused by a salary cap
yeah.
because they don't want their product to get like. And yes, like I know it's a terrible thing that I'm calling the players product, but that's what they are
Oh, they
to the
are. It's
owners.
entertainment.
That's simply what they are to the
Yeah,
owners. They're the stars of their play, the
yeah,
stage show that they're going to put on for
mhm,
80, 160 something games a
yeah,
season. And if if their number one guy gets hurt, it's like, oh, well, now what are we going to do?
yeah. We're not gonna win, and we're not selling tickets.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I
uh,
said, we can go on for days, and it's
mhm.
I'm just enjoying baseball as we have it right now.
Hmm.
I'm going to continue enjoying baseball. F everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean that was another thing that like I was talking to my family members at when I was on my trip was they're like, is baseball still boring? And I had to tell them I was like I hate every change that they've made, but no, it's actually a better sport right
Yeah,
now because of I was like you rarely get lulled into a three plus hour game
where nothing
where that
happens.
used to be the
Yeah.
norm before. And so like I think that they have to do something about the injuries, but
Yeah.
as soon as they figure out what is actually potentially causing them and they like reel that in a little bit, I was like, then the game will really like
Well, I mean,
move forward. But
this whole CBA thing is also very confusing to me that it's becoming this contentious when everyone knows, like, this, we're at a new peak in baseball as far as popularity,
yeah,
right? Like,
why would they want to damage
we're
it?
still not pre-steroid era popularity, right? We may
Oh,
never be
100%.
it may never be at that point ever again.
Hmm.
But this is the most popular baseball. Ticket sales are up across the league. Viewership's up
Yep.
across the league. Revenue's up across the league. It's not just the Dodgers. It's everybody.
Hmm.
And it's a lot of young people. Again, we'll talk about Dodgers. We're Dodger fans. But the Otani effect, the Aaron Judge effect, the Bryce Harper effect is real. When you have these superstar players who make the news, who are talked about locally, you bring in people who know crap about baseball,
Yeah.
right? Like, I have coworkers who never went to a Dodger game before in their lives that go now because of Otani. They're aware of baseball because of Otani, right?
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Like, everyone in New York was aware of baseball because of Derek Jeter, not Jorge
Hmm.
Posada,
Yeah.
right? And we're having that in LA and throughout the world. People know
Yeah.
baseball, people know the Dodgers because of Otani. And him succeeding just exacerbates it. There are people like there was a post about it on our baseball Reddit where people were looking at all the comments from Japanese White Sox fans because of Murakami.
Hmm.
I was like, this is ridiculous. There's Japanese White Sox fans. Like, yes, this is because of the Otani effect.
Yeah.
Every Japanese MPB player who's good wants to come over and do what Otani's doing. Maybe not exactly
Mhm.
like be a two-way player, but to see that success.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be the next Seiya Suzuki, right? They're
Hmm.
trying to be the next Otani. They want that piece of the pie. They want that popularity, and international fans are seeing their guys perform well. You're getting Japanese people watching the Padres or Yuki Matsui.
Yeah.
They're watching the Red Sox because of Yoshida. Again, they're not all Otani fans. Some of these guys are fans because those guys played for their team in Japan,
Hmm.
right? So, there's a lot of people who watch the Padres because of Darvish for all these years,
Hmm.
and that's just how it is. And that's across all these demographics. Through Canada, all of Canada's watching the Blue Jays because it's their only team. But the Blue Jays went to the playoffs and everyone got hyped up. They made it to the World
Yep.
Series. You know,
Hmm.
um, you got people in South America watching because of their hometown players, Venezuelan players, right? Dominican
Hmm.
players, whatever. In Europe now too. After WBC, the interest rises, and then World Cup actually helped baseball. A
Yeah.
lot of people from Europe and other places in the world, we're in America, got to watch a baseball game.
Yeah.
And, of course, not all of them liked it, but a lot of them did. And it's such a draw, right? It's such a piece of Americana at this point. It's an iconic thing. So, I don't know. I'm trying to I keep trying to wrap it up and keep yapping.
Yeah.
So let's call it here. Let's just nip in the bud. Zip it.
Yeah. No more contract talk.
Yeah, no more contract talk. Well, we got plenty. So the season has restarted. I forget who played today. The Dodgers play
Mhm.
tomorrow, so that's exciting for us. The Angels we'd probably rather not watch, but they're starting tomorrow too.
Yeah. Well, today it was Mets Phillies. Yeah, Mets
Oh,
Phillies.
the Phillies win.
So
They're kind of in a roll.
no,
The Mets
there
won.
was actually a controversial call today. Yeah,
Ah,
the Mets won,
ah,
4-1, I think. Schwarber thought he had a home run, but it hit the top of railing,
mm-hmm.
and it came back into the field of play. So instead of
Oh,
a home
this
run,
was
he
my
only got
ball.
a double. Yeah, a double.
Uh,
And of course, the commentators on I think on the Philly side were upset because the ball bounced on the railing directly in front of somebody that had a glove.
okay. So they're mad that he didn't interfere.
Yeah, essentially that he
That's
didn't
crazy
try
talk,
to
dude.
catch the ball.
Like you get mad
Right,
at fans for interfering, you know you get mad at them for not interfering,
right. Like pick a side, dude. Like
right?
what the hell?
It's Philly. But everyone, thank you for watching, listening,
Mhm.
whatever. Let's all enjoy baseball
Yeah.
together. We're gonna be a little funky on videos coming up. We have a lot of short videos coming up the next 2 weeks. We do have another big filming session coming up. If you guys check our Instagram, you'll see that we have a lot of stuff. I mean, the cards keep coming into my house, so we got stuff piled up. So it's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. Keep an eye out.
Mhm.
As always, like and subscribe. Shoot us a comment. Let us know what's going on. You got something you want us to talk about? You see something you want us to open up or rip on our channel? We're still technically a card ripping channel.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's true.
Yeah.
Um,
Very true.
yeah. But thanks everyone. Uh, I'm Shinjiro. That's Cali. Cali Drifter. Technically, his full name, his government name is Cali Drifter. We call him Cali.
Cali M Drifter.
Yeah. The M is for exactly. But thanks everyone. Whoever caught us. I think we had one guy jump in the chat like early, and then we never saw him again. But whatever.
Sports, yeah.
Yeah. We
Gamer
will catch
sports.
you all guys next week.
Yeah. Have a good one.